the things that I really like about Ed Orgeron and his policies during his time at LSU is that he will give guys a second chance. And I do fully understand that is not a tone-deaf comment. I do understand the climate that I make that comment, considering the USA Today report earlier this week. I'm not – these two conversations need to happen independent of one another. What was alleged in that USA Today piece, I fully appreciate and understand that if those things did in fact happen, that LSU has deep-seated issues that need to be addressed and potentially legal issues where people need to go to jail. That is due process, your day in court, and that'll come for those people potentially. But specifically when you're talking about the average issues that college students sometimes run into that maybe necessarily shouldn't cost them a great opportunity, I'm good with Ed Orgeron allowing guys back. Listen, let me point out Christian Fulton to you as a case in point. Christian Fulton attempted to falsify a P-test. Let's call it what it is. And we know he acknowledged doing it. And the crazy thing is he didn't actually falsify the test. But LSU stood by him. They went through that whole process. And Christian Fulton ultimately was allowed to resume his career and rejoin the LSU program and the football team. And all of that worked out very well. LSU wins a championship, etc. Well, none of that would have been the case if LSU had bailed on Christian Fulton. Justin Thomas is another guy who was playing for LSU, had some personal issues last season, left the team, and then got his life in order, and Ed Orgeron welcomed him back. Now, ultimately, he transferred this year to UAB, and he's playing there, but Ed Ingram is another one who went through a legal incident in his hometown in Texas, and LSU stood by him while that legal situation was rectified, and once it was, he was allowed back. There's a lot of I'm very much for those instances. This is another one with Dare. And listen, Ed's not going to say the reason, but we all know the reason. It's the same reason that most all of these kids end up with suspensions. I say kids, young men, end up with suspensions. All right? There's obviously a culture around marijuana. Let's just call it what it is, okay? So anyway, unless the SEC or the NCAA regulates that across the board and everybody's playing by the same rules, I'm going to be just fine with giving guys multiple chances and helping them get help that they need and letting them come back and not ruin their lives. So that's that part of it, allowing Dare Rosenthal back. The other part of it is, realistically, I don't know how good Dare's going to be for this team. I mean, and I'm not knocking the kid. Ed has said before that Dare Rosenthal's a very athletic kid who he sees potentially being a first-round pick one day, and I hope that for him. But ultimately, let's call it what it is, man. Last year when Sadiq Charles missed half the season, they moved Adrian McGee to left tackle for the conference games when Sadiq couldn't be there. Dare played against, like, Utah State. He's got a long way to go to becoming a SEC left tackle, SEC caliber left tackle, and quite honestly, I think Cam Wire's a better player right now. Now, I absolutely want that depth. I absolutely want another body at left tackle if I can have it. I absolutely want a guy that's been on the field in conference games and on the road. Yes, of course, like, we've learned that lesson this year, the value of experience. And if Dare can be back, 100% want that. Far from a finished product, but if I can get him back, I want him back. I would absolutely want Dare Rosenthal back on this team, so that's good to see. A couple of other things from Ed Orgeron today. Can you play number one here, Moose, about overall thoughts on this game heading to Fayetteville?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to compliment Sam Pittman and his coaching staff. What a tremendous job they've done to turn this Arkansas team around. Outstanding coaching job, and compliment their players the way they're playing. They're playing very hard. They're a good football team. It's going to be a challenge for us, but our guys are ready to play. We have most of our team back. We had a great practice yesterday, and I look forward to having a great practice today.
Ed Orgeron again earlier on Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference as his team gets prepared to head to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. The story with Arkansas, of course, is will there be enough players available for Arkansas? Very quickly, Moose, if you would, Sam Pittman, this is Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman, number 3. He talked about his I'm sorry, can you play 4? Forgive me. 4. This is whether or not they're going to have enough players.
Do you feel you have the adequate depth? I mean, are there some key people you feel got an adequate number of people to play.
So, to the point for Sam Pittman, they've got enough to play. That's as of this morning. If there's another round of testing there at Arkansas, that remains to be seen if anyone else gets knocked. But we've seen a pretty significant line swing for this game where it started Arkansas -2.5, and now it's gone complete or 3 all the way to LSU now favored by a couple. All right, it is after further review, a Scone Home edition. We are live on YouTube, so we appreciate you for being here with us. If you want to watch us from my home office, what's up? Shout out to YouTube folks. We are live on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Good news is we're all completely symptom-free and good and fine, just abiding by policies that are set forth that we have to. So we're hanging out at the house for a few days until they tell us it's okay to resume going back into the studio. And we appreciate everybody for being with us here and everybody at Guarantee who helped pull together the remote broadcast here on really, really short notice. So, all right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, Drew Brees, he wanted a second opinion on his diagnosis. Drew Brees got that second opinion on his diagnosis. We'll talk about that when we come back. Glad to have you here on Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River Cities 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. Give them a call. Do it right now. I mean, it's just after 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. It's a great time to call. Maybe you're driving home. Maybe you're sitting at home. Maybe you're sitting at the office. This is the time because we keep seeing temperatures dip into the 40s. Tonight, the low is 47 degrees. So if you're going to crank up your heater, if you don't love living like an Eskimo, I can tell you I married an Eskimo. I married someone that wants the home central AC
30.
on at like 65 degrees while we sleep or off completely whenever it gets into the 40s. So if you're going to crank on your heater, make sure it's safe. Call River Cities 1 Hour Air for just $97, the preseason
15.
heater safety check. 752-0001, 752-0001. Make
10.
sure that heater is safe, ready to run during these cold weather months. 752-0001 for River Cities 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
By now, you know who to call if you need a new roof done right. Premier South Roofing. You've heard and seen our commercials. You probably have a friend or relative whose roof we've hand-nailed,
Okay, cool.
but you haven't
I
called
just
us yet
couldn't- I
because you
didn't hear
think
you
you're too
talking
far
back.
away. If you can hear my voice on the radio, you're not. North Shore, Lafayette, or Baton Rouge. Call 757-6621 today or go to premiersouthlA.com.
Oh, my bad.
For Premier...
Oh, you're
Right, I
good.
forgot about that.
Now,
Yeah,
here's the-
I couldn't.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, we got a mishap with changing pots on the board. I can only get you and SportsCenter out of one pot, so I couldn't talk to you while SportsCenter was playing.
Got it.
That's
All
why
good.
that happened.
No worries. Okay, I was just making sure we were good. So, all right, let's see. And I need to see if I can. Let's see. Boom. Hey, I'm stepping away real quick. Would you put the
Visit Gatorworks.net.
Here's Ray Stonemark with Don Seafood.
I would highly recommend ETEL for your business. They worry about the little guy, and they've provided me with excellent service.
ETEL Business, empowering your business to do more. Call 621-4100.
Live someplace lively. Live someplace elegant. Live someplace in the center of it all. The Heron Downtown offers an extraordinary reimagining of Baton Rouge luxury living. Stylish apartments with high-end finishes, abundant natural lighting, and open floor plans. Rich with amenities,
Hey, Moose,
pet-friendly,
take out the
with a
spot
sparkling
for a
rooftop pool.
Hey, YouTube peeps, can y'all hear us during the break? I gotta see. Let me see how I can do that. Let's see. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Can I mute YouTube during break? Let's see. Don't tell him. I'm well aware that you can hear me, guys. I just didn't know if I could turn down a pot here. If y'all are... All right, hang on. Hey, Moose, how much time in the break?
You got about 45 seconds.
Okay. All right, here's what's going to happen, YouTube. Moose is going to feed a spot. Then I'm going to turn the volume down. Let me know if you can still hear it. All right, go, Moose. Turn it on.
The need has always been there. The need for food, shelter, compassion. This year, it just happens to be greater. If you need help, please reach out. If you can give help, please reach within. In a year with fewer red kettles, your $25 monthly donation helps rescue Christmas for the most vulnerable. Enlist in Love's Army at givewestwood.org.
All right, Moose, this is where I'm going to use
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So, Drew Brees decided that he wanted a second opinion on his broken ribs. Apparently, Brees broke 2 ribs on the right side during the first half of the 49ers game, and they believe those fractures are what punctured the lung. And he had previously, they think, broken 3 ribs on the left side against Tampa Bay. So he breaks 3 ribs against the Bucs, puts on the rib protector jacket, decides he's going to go out there and play against the Niners, gets hit again, breaks 2 more, and punctures a lung. Now, I'm not smart. If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that. I am not a smart person. My brother, my dad, those are smart people. I'm just loud and opinionated and sometimes use logic, but I'm not smart. But I have had the benefit of looking at hundreds of x-rays in my life. Unfortunately, when our son Drew was in the hospital, he had x-rays done literally every day. I mean, so 7 months, he had hundreds of x-rays done. So I looked at x-rays all the time. Anyway, what I do know is that if you have a broken bone on an x-ray, that's pretty definitive, dog. Like, I don't think you really need a second opinion on an x-ray. I mean, either, as Terrio would say, that's digital. Either the bone is broke or it ain't broke. And that dude has some broke ribs, 5 of them in all. So anyway, needless to say, my reaction when I got the news that the second opinion of Drew Brees' broken ribs confirmed that he did, in fact, have 5 broken ribs and a collapsed lung. My reaction was a lot like your boy from Dodgeball.
I feel shocked.
What? Moose, what's that guy's name?
It's Pepper Brooks, man.
Pepper Brooks. I don't know. I knew it was Pepper, and I was trying to – well, never mind. Pepper Brooks. That's it. I know that's like your favorite movie in the world, right?
It's up there. It's definitely top 5.
Is it? Okay, so what's your not comedies, top 5 all time?
Yeah, all time. If Dodgeball's on, I'm watching it. Like, I have to watch at least a little bit of it.
So I'm like that with Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation for me isn't a top 5 Christmas movie or top 5 comedy. It's a top 5 all time for me. Major League is in that category as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So what's there for you aside from Dodgeball?
Like just in top 5 of movies of all time?
Yeah.
Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight a lot.
I've seen that. Okay.
You have or you haven't?
No, I haven't. You know this. I'm not a big.
Yeah, I know,
I'm not a big movie guy.
That's a great. You need to watch that. That's in there. A lot of them are comedies. I like Anchorman a lot.
Yes. Shawshank. Shawshank's one.
Shawshank is a great movie.
Yeah.
That
Say
is a
Shawshank 5
movie.
times real fast.
I can't do that.
Try it.
Shawshank. Oh, yeah, I did better than I thought.
You did good. You did like 3.5. That's pretty good. Anyway, so, Moose, I'm sitting here and I see this news, and I'm like, yeah, that's the least surprising news since I heard that college football games were going to be canceled this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, man, that's just about as shocking as T.J. Finley getting the start for LSU, being the only healthy quarterback last week.
Right. It's like as shocking as Nick Saban coaching the same week that he tested positive for COVID-19.
And Sam Pittman not being able to coach the same week he had COVID.
Well done. So anyway, Drew Brees, he is confirmed that 5 broken ribs, collapsed lung. No timetable set for how long he's going to be out, but at least a couple of weeks are some of the reports. That would fall in line with what Dr. Brent Bankston from Brock told us earlier this week on AFR. Dr. Bankston, of course, is a Brock physician who is LSU's team doctor. He's great. I mean, he's a great orthopedist. Said that, an injury like that it's really surprised me because he said, listen, I'd say the way he said it on AFR, Dr. Bankston, was, I'd say, doubtful for this week, but questionable for next week, almost like he could return next week. When I look at it big picture for the Saints, though, I know we talked about this a bit yesterday on the show. I'm actually a little excited about the possibility of seeing Jameis for a few weeks. Now, I went through my reasons why yesterday. We posted that video on YouTube, and I got a lot of feedback from people saying, well, why wouldn't you want to afford the same opportunity to Taysom Hill to prove himself? And there's not, the reason I'll say is because there's not a good reason to give Taysom Hill that opportunity. Like, we know that Jameis Winston is a starting quarterback in the NFL. We know that. He is a starting quarterback in the NFL. This dude threw for 5,000 yards in a season, something that only a handful of quarterbacks in history have ever done. I think a lot of people don't fully digest how impressive that is. We know Jameis is a starter in the NFL. We don't know how good he'll be. We don't know how good long term. Can he be an elite quarterback in the NFL? I don't know. And we'll find that out. But sometimes, one of my favorite sayings is actions speak louder than words. And the last 2 years, when Sean Payton's been faced with this situation, he's gone to the guy that wasn't Taysom Hill. He's telling you, Taysom Hill, and that's not, people are like, oh, you're a Taysom Hill hater. I'm not a Taysom Hill hater. These two things can be mutually exclusive. I can love Taysom Hill as a football player. I love his energy. I love his commitment. I love how versatile he is. I love that you can put him in so many roles and what that does as a chess piece on the board to confuse a defense. But he's never going to be an every down quarterback in the NFL. Sean Payton, he's Tim Tebow. Sean Payton has told us that. He doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't have great accuracy. He's not that guy. He's never been that guy. Besides, he's 30 years old already. He's got a role in the NFL, undeniably. It's never going to be as a starting quarterback. So we know Jameis will be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Has been, will be again. Can he be elite? That's what this opportunity here is for, as it pertains to the Saints' future with Jameis Winston, post Drew Brees for however long Drew Brees is out, but it's going to be at least apparently a couple of weeks. All right, it's that further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. You can always find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. That's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Remember, you can get to the website to find the location nearest you, and they've got they can come to you as well. So if you're in a situation where you need auto work done but you're not comfortable getting out or you can't get out, Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. They can come to you, learn more at the website. And, of course, if you're shopping tires, nobody will sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices like Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Go around the SEC coming up here in just a smidge. Also, Taylor Calandro, a little Bourbon Dictionary, about 20 minutes from right now. We'll head to Fayetteville at the top of hour 2, so 36 minutes. We'll talk to Josh Bertaccini, 92 on the ticket up there in Fayetteville. I want to get the latest on the Arkansas COVID situation and whether or not Arkansas is going to be able to field a team this weekend against LSU. Sam Pittman this morning says they have enough. Is that going to hold? We'll try to get some answers coming up here in about half an hour from right now. Really quickly, wanted to congratulate. We learned that Jabril Cox and Racey McMath have accepted Senior Bowl invites. Kerry Vincent got one as well. And I wanted to point this out because, look, I understand Twitter is a playground as a cesspool at times, and a playground for the negative. But I did see a lot of LSU fans on Twitter today cracking on Kerry Vincent. And namely, I saw it because Kerry engaged with some of them. There was this tweet which said, he's 21 years old, LOL, hardly a kid. He opted out but takes the spot at the Senior Bowl. For another senior who could have used the opportunity, it's a bad look to quit on your team but play another game the same year because it benefits you. Selfish mentality, end of story. First of all, the NFL doesn't care about your allegiance. They don't. The NFL doesn't care that you're, I don't know if I can say butthurt. I'm going to say butthurt. The NFL doesn't care that you're butthurt that a guy opted out. Bottom line, they don't. The NFL's objective is to find the best players to draft or sign to put together a 53-man roster. They don't care if a guy opted out on your team. They're supremely disinterested in that. And to the moral relativists here who were saying, well, he opted out, he left his team high and dry, you quit on your team, but now you're going to go play another game. He's not playing another game. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to go work out for a week in Mobile for all the NFL scouts. For every head coach and GM and every NFL personnel that's going to be in Mobile, that's going to give you an opportunity to show off in front of those guys. And I'm glad that any player is afforded that opportunity to do that. If you're going to have this conversation about, well, Kerry Vincent opted out, why should he have the opportunity? He's taken a spot from another senior, gosh darn it. Well, what about a guy like Janoris Jenkins, who got kicked out at Florida, ends up at Jacksonville State? He went to the Senior Bowl. You want to talk about him being like a bad guy, so he shouldn't have had the opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl? Kick rocks, man. You know what you should do instead? You should thank Kerry Vincent for the years he gave LSU, for persevering and coming back after the tragic and untimely death of his father. You should wish him all the success in the world at the next level. And you should be eternally grateful that he was part of what is for many and basically every LSU fan the greatest sports memory they will ever have, which is watching that 2019 season, of which Kerry Vincent played in every game with 9 starts and was versatile enough to play both nickel and safety and help you become a dominant defense down the stretch and win a national championship. If you're sour because he opted out and decided in a crazy COVID year where dozens upon dozens of college football players have chosen to opt out, if you're sour about that and you don't want to afford him any opportunity later in life to better himself, that's a you problem, Hoss. I say LSU fans should applaud Kerry Vincent for having the opportunity to go play in the Senior Bowl, should wish him all the luck in the world, both not only at the Senior Bowl but also in his NFL career, as with Jabril Cox, as with Racey McMath, and everybody else who has that opportunity. Some of y'all all up in your feelings, bro. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Glad you're hanging out on a Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find it. Agent225.com. Here's the bottom line. If you need to sell your home, call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Do you realize that a lot of people choose to list their home for sale by owner because they think they're saving money? But here's the problem. So many times listing your home for sale by owner, you don't know how to accurately price your home. You don't know the comps.
30.
Maybe you're just not available for showings. So when people want to look at your house, you can't show it. 73%, nearly 3 out of 4 people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. Save yourself the time.
15.
Save yourself the hassle. Save yourself the money. Call
10.
Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. Think real estate? Think Darren James.
If there's one thing we've learned at Regiment Fitness, it's that our health and wellness is more important than ever. So whether you're already active or you're just starting your fitness journey, let us help you disrupt your routine. Go to regimentfitness.com to schedule a free workout. regimentfitness.com.
Capital Partners, a lobbying and government relations firm focused on the people of Louisiana. Whether you need to drive legislative or regulatory approval, want to enhance your image, or are looking to improve political campaign fundraising, Capital Partners has the resources to deliver beyond your expectations. Contact Jesse McCormick and Daryl Cahoon today. Search online at capitalpartnersfirm.com. Capital Partners, the face and voice of Louisianans at the state capitol. capitalpartnersfirm.com.
Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks and the nation's leading domestic hunger relief organization, providing food to more than 40 million people through 60,000 food pantries and meal programs. And for the last 3 years, BMW has proudly assisted in helping to provide 4.3 million meals to people in need through Feeding America. With this year's program alone, we hope to reach 2 million and further build connections with the local food banks in your community. So right now, during BMW's Drive to End Hunger test drive event, November 17th through the 21st, your test drive will help provide 200 meals to Feeding America, and you'll also get $1,000 towards a new BMW. Visit your local BMW center for details.
Help fuel the drive to end hunger and support this worthy cause. Visit bmwusa.com/drive to end hunger for details.
What's holding you back from solving your tax problems? If it's cost, know that the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll be.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, I was asking if you could take out the spot. So Colton Matt said Matt and Moose's mic was live during the ad. So yes, so you all have on YouTube, you're watching today, you all have a straight line input. So with our setup, because I'm at my home, you are connected to the audio source, so you're hearing everything I hear. The only other option was that you would only hear me and you wouldn't be able to hear the rejoins and the sound bites and all that sort of stuff. So you're getting straight line audio. Everything I hear, you all are going to hear. So the option we have, though, is to keep it live during the break, and we could chat during the break, which I'm cool with doing that, too. So
that's interesting. I took it out of the video. I took my mic out of the video feed, and they could still hear me.
Yeah, so it's because there's a separate mixer here, Moose, and so so it's a straight line. Everything that's going into my headset is going into the mixer that's feeding YouTube. So that's why so whatever you say to me, they will hear on YouTube, FYI.
5 seconds.
And good luck from Acura of Baton Rouge and 104.5 ESPN.
I want to talk about these. Oh, by the way, I am timing my lives. You can count me down, it's fine, but I am timing.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, if you're just joining us, I'm at my house today, contact tracing, all the COVID people who go crazy about everything. I get it. So I will listen. I will conform to the policies because Guarantee's got to play ball, and I respect that completely. So I got to be at the house for a few days. So set up here to do the show at the house, and we are live on YouTube from my office. So you can actually watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. You can always listen live. You can listen in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Alexandria on our great affiliates, or you can watch us here. It's a great time to find the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, so you can watch us here from office. I got Muse. Can you, where you're sitting in studio? Do you have a video feed? Are you watching?
I have YouTube pulled up in one window.
So you're watching. See, I have Drew right here. What does anything in here catch your eye? I have a big cutout of Drew behind me.
That was the first thing, honestly.
I've got a couple shelves of my whiskey collection. By the way, there's Sazerac right there. For those who are watching, there's my Sazerac rye right there. Shout out Sazzy. Got this. This is the ball that we got from. We told you all about Nyko Sports. They do an awesome job with their commemorative footballs. The radio audience is completely lost on you, but this is the Nyko Sports football that we told you about, the Joe Burrow ball which is magnificent, the 4-panel football. Y'all can check that out, NICOsports.com. Got this up here. So anyway, anything else, Muse? Anything else catching your eye there?
I like the crystal ball right above your head.
Ah, that was 03. Man, 03 was so
it's good stuff.
So I was a senior at LSU in 03, and I think most LSU fans at that point, it's crazy now because LSU's won 3 titles since 03, and the only program in college football that's won more in that time frame is Alabama. And so it's almost, I don't want to say it's an expectation, but it's become but it's an expectation here now to compete for championships. Then it wasn't. It was 45 years, and it was such an amazing ride to the pinnacle that season that when LSU won the 03 national championship, I bought everything. I mean, dog, every T-shirt, every bumper sticker, every shot glass, every beer mug, everything that had 03 national championship on it, I bought. I think I have a plastic bin in my attic that I think is just 2003 national championship swag that I bought. I think, you know how you can buy those like street, they're like plastic, but it's like a street sign?
Yeah, okay,
like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm almost certain I have a 2003 national championship like plastic replica street sign in my attic. Right? It was like, do you have a season like that for you that was like always the ultimate?
I mean, 07, well, I mean, 03, I remember a good chunk of 03, honestly, but I mean, 07, probably, I mean, hell, last year, really, too. I mean, last year was the greatest thing ever, but.
Yeah, last year set the bar.
I mean, it's hard to not answer last year. You need to get that bin out of the attic and go through it.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just give you everything. All right.
I'll do that, too. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll give you all that stuff. That's fine. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Taylor Calandro, in a little less than 10 minutes from right now, we will do a Bourbon Dictionary. So if you got your booze questions, get them in. Actually, a segment is starting to pop whenever you're starting to get questions days in advance of the segment. I got one last. I was like, hey, man, could you ask Taylor? I'm like, why wouldn't you just go to the store and ask? I mean, I digress. But thank you. Thank you for getting your questions in. So we'll get your questions for Taylor coming up in less than 10 minutes from right now. Right now, though, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss head coach Kermit Davis tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday. Ole Miss made that announcement via its social media. Assistant coach Ronnie Hamilton, he'll serve as the interim head coach while Davis is out. Rebs expected to open the season November 25th against Central Arkansas, followed by games November the 26th against Jackson State, and then a day later against Arkansas State. Ole Miss set to host all 3 games. Davis is the third major conference head coach test positive for COVID-19 in the past 10 days. Tom Izzo and Jim Boeheim are the others.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
A&M's men's basketball team won't open the season at the Crossover Classic tournament in South Dakota after all. The reason, you guessed it, COVID concerns. The Aggies were scheduled to begin their season November 25th against West Virginia. Instead, they'll play their season opener at home now November 29th against UNO.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia picked up the number 1 ranked prospect in the state of Georgia, linebacker Smael Mondon. Moose, do you know if I say that right? You probably follow recruiting closer than I do. Smael Mondon? Smael Mondon?
I have no idea.
Smael? S-M-A-E-L. Smael or Smael?
Smael.
Smael. Smael. Mondon. He's a good linebacker, the 11th ranked recruit in the country, 6'3", 220. He picked Georgia over Auburn, Florida, LSU, and Tennessee. He is the top-ranked recruit in Georgia's class. And there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com. For Gulf Coast Office Products, if you are a business owner and you need your business to run more efficiently, Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products can help make that happen with all of your office equipment, and with offices in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and Mandeville. They're near you so they can get to you same day, at the absolute latest next day at 10 a.m. Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We'll knock out our final break coming up here in just a quick second. Taylor Calandro, Bourbon Dictionary, Josh Bertaccini, 92 on the ticket up in Fayetteville, set to join us in 20 minutes from right now. Hey, Muse, real quick, what are these, what's the thing at the top of Twitter now? They have, like, Twitter stories.
Yeah, well, they're called fleets, and that's basically what they are is Twitter stories.
So it's a Twitter story.
Yeah, I don't really think it fits the medium very well, but.
So it's basically the same thing that I have on Instagram and Facebook.
Right, and Snapchat if you still use that.
And LinkedIn.
Yes. They gave us a Twitter story or a fleet instead of an edit button. So.
Do you think Twitter? So for those who don't know, if you don't do Twitter, many people who've used Twitter for years have complained that they want an edit button. Basically, if you tweet something and you have a typo or something like that, you can't edit it. You have to either reply to that tweet and say, I meant to do blah, blah, or delete it and retweet. And Twitter refuses to give us an edit button. Do you think they're just trolling us?
They have to be at this point.
Has anything ever been said about that from Twitter, like why they won't give us an edit button?
Not why, no. I don't understand. It just makes so much sense.
I know. Literally every other social media platform gives you an edit button. Actually, I don't know if TikTok does. Are you TikToking yet?
No.
You need to be TikToking, bro. You're so far behind. It's not just little kids dancing, bro. I'm telling you. It's a content platform. You need to be TikToking.
Can't do it.
Yeah, you will. I promise. Remember this. Mark the tape, Muse. Be it a month from now, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, you'll be TikToking and you'll go, you know what? Scone may be bald, and he may not be smart, but damn it, he was right about TikTok. Shout out to Ribs Huey as well, who also said she'd never do TikTok, but she will, because you all will. Same people who said, I'll never be on Facebook. Yeah, you will. No, I'll never be on Instagram. Yeah, you will. Okay, it's after further review. Quick break. Taylor Calandro, Bourbon Dictionary. Next, if you have booze questions, get them in. It is holiday season. Many of you might need, this is the question I got yesterday from someone, is they need a good gift idea for someone, a Scotch at a certain price point. Get your questions in for a Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagoneer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. That's Clegg's Nursery, where they have now transitioned and are in full-blown Christmas mode. It is holiday season. They have Christmas trees. Christmas trees arrived earlier this week. They are now up on the lot. They also have poinsettias. They've got all of your Christmas decor. If you are ready to bypass Thanksgiving, like Ryan Terrio, and go straight to Christmas and put a reindeer antlers on your car and a reindeer Rudolph nose on the front grill, let Clegg's help you. Really, more importantly, your poinsettias, all of your holiday decor, your flowers, your Christmas trees, Clegg's Nursery has you covered. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends today at Clegg's Nursery.
Sponsored by Labyrinth Labs.
Men, are you?
Of course, the one time that I say you don't need to count me down, I forgot. I was like 3 seconds late on the start. Did I time it right?
You were a minute one.
I was a second heavy. Okay.
Yes.
Andrew Elliott, why is the show not in studio? Corona, bro. Corona. Theodore, does Matt copy Clay Travis's dance moves on TikTok like he does his takes? I didn't know Clay Travis was on TikTok, and honestly, I don't read Clay Travis's site or listen to his radio show. So Clay used to be a really good writer, though. He was, when he wrote for SI, this was, 10, 15 years ago. He was a very good writer. He was a very good, creative college football writer. And he lost that, though, man. And I get it. He's built a brand and good for him, but he went off the deep end. Let's see. Oh, look, there's a Skona is overrated. Skona was with someone who has the sniffles. Do you think so? Skona is overrated. Does that mean if to be overrated, you have to be rated, correct? Oh God, Dawn. Hey, y'all get the booze questions for Taylor. That's not a picture of a dog crapping, asshole. That's my dog Valley. She died. That was my boxer. She was the greatest dog ever. She had bad hips. They were just cocked to the side at that point. Let's see. After COVID review, right? Jesus Christ. Todd Jones, I did make all 3 shots today. Stephen D.W. Matt, do you think anyone in the state comes close to Coach Pete's 52 championships? I don't think so, bro. Well, I think Clanny Duplichin has 60.
15.
You got Taylor? Hey, you got Taylor?
Yeah, I have him.
Okay.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1 here on a hump day edition of AFR. Glad you're with us. Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's, good enough to join us now. How are you, dude?
Good, man. What's happening?
Another day, man. Let's see. We announced last week the Rare Whiskey Raffle, December the 10th at Calandro's, will be virtual. What else are we at liberty to disclose right now? Any updates for the people that are inquiring?
I don't think there's any major updates. No, I mean the fact that we're going to do it in studio instead of in store, but I don't think that really affects a whole lot of people. So I mean, they won't get to see you in person. That's the only big difference.
Well, December
big deal.
December the 10th, y'all mark it down. The Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle. It's an opportunity to purchase rare bottles of whiskey if you win in the raffle, but all the raffle tickets that you purchase obviously are going to go to benefit for Kids Foundation, which raises money, donates money to great children's charities across Louisiana, which is awesome. So real quick again, Taylor, they can buy their raffle tickets in-store starting Black Friday?
Yes, November 27th, and then we'll go through about 5 p.m. on December 10th.
Okay.
So about a 10-day window, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get to some questions here. Before I do, actually, what's hot right now? I mean, as we start to move toward holiday season, Thanksgiving's coming up. Are people shopping for wines right now for holiday meals? Is it whiskey season? What are people really coming and buying right now?
I was thinking about this earlier. This holiday season is going to be different for us and for a lot of people, but from us, from an industry standpoint, I don't know what to expect really as far as business goes. We sell a ton of alcohol during this time, as does everybody else in town. But this year, I don't know if it's going to be the same, if it's going to be more, if it's going to be less. It's just like everything we've done so far this year. We just don't really know. So, but I mean, we have people buying a ton of wine right now. We have people buying a ton of whiskey. and during Thanksgiving, everything sells.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what the next week has for us.
Let's get some questions here. And oddly, I'm looking at the Bayou Ford YouTube chat and some other questions that came in via Facebook, and some of them are actually similar but on different ends of the spectrum. Like Christopher sent me this message last night. I mentioned last segment, Taylor. You know when a segment's starting to pop, when you're getting questions the day before the segment. Hey, can you ask this? He said, my brother-in-law wants a nice bottle of Scotch. Price range around $125. What would you recommend?
Well, I mean, I would ask him what he typically drinks first, because Scotch is such a broad spirit that you could pick something that's $120 from Islay that a Macallan drinker is going to turn their nose at. So, but if you're looking for a basic like a Speyside, a Balvenie, or something like that, you can do a Balvenie 15. I think it's around that price. There's a few of them. But it all depends on what region of Scotland they're looking for.
Hey, can you explain real quick the difference in Scotch and other whiskeys? Not just obviously. Yeah, we'll go ahead. You can take it from there.
Well, Scotch, I mean, there's 5 regions of Scotland, and they're all the whiskey is made similarly, but some of them have very glaring differences, whether it be more peat or smoke, more American whiskey type, like a Highland or a Speyside, but it still has that hint of peat and smoke, but not as much as an Islay. So they are different. It's basically the world is split up in Scotland like it is for the world for us. The 5 regions are different worlds for whiskey, basically there.
Got it. Another one says, on the other side, what's the best Scotch for someone who's new to Scotch?
I would stay in the same vein as I would try a Balvenie or a Macallan, or one of the smaller distilleries, like a Glenfarclas or something like that. Just something that's not too heavily peated or smoked.
Francis DeVille says, Taylor, I need a dry Merlot. What do you recommend?
Man, I haven't had a Merlot in years. That's a great question. Then I'll have to ask my wine guy and answer next week.
All right, get us an answer next week. Emil says EJ or Hennessy?
EJ or Hennessy. That's a no-brainer for me. And EJ is a brandy too. So, yeah. E&J.
John Quave, or Quave, Q-U-A-V-E, said, I've been trying to start drinking a little whiskey. Started with some Buffalo Trace that somebody got me. What's next?
What's next? If you can get your hands on Eagle Rare, if you want to stay in the same vein, something like that. Or you could go up to a Blade and Bow, or a Knob Creek even. I think Buffalo Trace is pretty approachable for most people.
Yep.
So something with a little more kick and flavor would be the natural next step, in my opinion.
What does Buffalo Trace retail at Calandros?
$23.99.
So
it's hard to get currently.
Yeah. But so whenever I get that question, I always start to think, okay, what diverse flavors can I recommend to someone? So that's when I would recommend a rye or something like in the same. I mean, obviously Sazerac sponsors the show, but that's a great, as you put it, approachable rye for someone to try. You know, that you can find pretty much anywhere. So,
I love Sazerac rye just for the price point and its representation of the actual rye.
Yeah,
it's a really, really good bottle.
Drew Lyon said, watch the Scotch documentary on Netflix. It's really good. Have you seen it?
No, I've seen Neat, but I haven't seen a Scotch one. I would be totally interested in. I'll be much more interested in that than watching one about bourbon, for sure.
Why?
Because I think Scotland is way more interesting.
All right, last one. No, go ahead.
And it's way older, too. So it's a much older spirit. So
last one. It said, oh, God, I lost my spot. Here it is. How do you compare the Elijah Craig Toasted to your store pick Elijah Craig Small Batch?
Toasted is a little sweeter than the regular Elijah Craig. Even the barrel pick, I find it to be a touch sweeter. They're very similar, though, and the toasted has grown on me. Fresh out the gate when we opened the bottle and tried it, I wasn't a huge fan, but as it's opened up, its bottles opened up, it's starting to really grow on me. It's a good buy, and it will eventually be an everyday item.
The Elijah Craig toasted?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The
Michter's toasted is magnificent.
It's magnificent, and it's very hard to get. It's not on the same level as like Elijah Craig toast.
No doubt. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's, 2 locations in Baton Rouge, of course. Perkins and Segan right there at the corner, and Mid-City on Government Street, just down from us on Government, where we are at the Guarantee Building. December the 10th is the Rare Whiskey Raffle virtual this year at Calandro's, and we'll be a part of it, and we look forward to it. Taylor, thanks for the time, man.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right. It is After Further Review presented by Pluckers. We'll kick off hour 2 next.
AFR.
Reminding you about GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. That's our friends at GMFS Mortgage. I love hearing so many success stories from our listeners who are calling GMFS, who are taking our advice, who are taking advantage of these historically low interest rates and saving money on their mortgage every month. When we say change your life, or GMFS Mortgage is changing lives, they are changing people's life financially. And it's unfortunate why we are in the circumstance that we are, but with the federal government trying to stimulate the economy and give people tax breaks, lowering interest rates is one way that they've done it. And so people are taking advantage of these historically low rates, so you need to do this. If your interest rate is a 4 or higher, you've got to call GMFS Mortgage. Some instances we've seen people lower their rate 1.5 points or more. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives.
By now, you know who to call if you need a new roof done right. Premier.
Right.
Matt, do you want me to feed you Sports Center whenever it happens?
Yeah, you can feed me Sports Center.
Okay.
Oh, Russ texted me. What are we talking about? The same thing we're talking about every week, man. Previewing the games. What games are happening? That's important. Uh-oh. I hear Drew Moscona walking through the house. He's about to bust up in here. Andrew Brister Scone, there are no ads on YouTube. That's because Musso is taking them out. So typically, when we're in studio, when we're doing the show in studio, YouTube gets the same feed that CST gets. So you get the video commercials, the ads. Because I'm at home today, we are doing a straight line feed to you on YouTube. So we have the setup that's sending back to radio and this camera that you're on, and I have a separate setup here for YouTube. I would show you, but I'd have to move the camera, and I don't want to do that because I don't know if I can get it affixed properly. Again, I'm sure I could. But anyway, so after the show, before we sign off, I'll show you. So anyway, what Musso is feeding me, everything I hear, you hear, basically. It's a straight line feed. So you're going to hear Musso talk to me. You're going to hear whatever. So if I tell Musso to feed me commercials, you'll hear commercials. But but I told him to pot down the commercials so we could talk during the break. But he is going to he's going to feed a Sports Center. So Sports Center is less than a minute away. Ooh, watch! I'll count you down to this. Watch.
Hey, Matt. Hey, do you have call screen by chance?
I do not.
Okay, that's
if you tell me the login, I can do it.
Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yep.
We're about to come back. Show.
You chill. You chill.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. 38-year-old Mets second baseman Robinson Cano is suspended for the entire 2021 season after testing positive for PEDs. He will lose his $24 million salary. It's draft night in the NBA. Aside from the picks themselves, there's also the question about trades, including James Harden wanting out of Houston. ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
It's extraordinarily public that James Harden wants to be traded. It only wants to be traded to one destination. That makes it very hard to negotiate and get the best deal. If I were the Brooklyn Nets, I wouldn't offer anywhere near the best deal out of the gate.
Live draft coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. The Knicks have moved up in the first round today to get the 23rd overall pick. In return, New York sends the 27th pick and a second rounder to the Jazz. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the 49ers pick up Tack McKinley on waivers. Ooh. McKinley already failed a physical after getting picked up by the Bengals earlier.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. Glad you're hanging out. Matt Musso back in studio. Home edition for Scone. Contact tracing. Got to do the show from home today and for a few days trying to see how all the protocols work out. But in a COVID crazy world, got to do what you got to do. So we're at home, but many thanks to Guarantee and our friends at Guarantee and our like all of our coworkers at Guarantee, for helping with the setup to make sure we could be on air today from home. So everybody feels great. No symptoms. We're all good. Just, got to do what we're told to do. So anyway, bottom of this hour, our friend Whitney Bro is going to be with us. Whitney, of course, great Tiger fan, breast cancer survivor who started the Day 18 campaign. Just because it's not October doesn't mean breast cancer goes away. And her Day 18 campaign is reminding women on the 18th day of every month to perform a self-breast exam. And she partnered with our friend, Shelley Brown Tomplay, who, of course, painted and created Roni the Tiger, for a pink Roni. So Roni goes pink, and it's all – they're sold raffle tickets all throughout the month and raising money. We'll announce the winner for this original piece of art at the bottom of this hour with Whitney on with us from over at Mary Bird Perkins. So thrilled for that. LSU's up at Arkansas this weekend, so we think. Arkansas's had a little COVID problem this week. Are they going to be able to play the game? Let's go up to Northwest Arkansas. Our buddy Josh Bertaccini, 92-1 The Ticket, hosts the Red Zone there. Good enough to join us. JB, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. So let me just start with that obvious question. Are they going to play on Saturday?
It's a real question today, right? So I would say yes, but obviously the last 48 hours have been a little bit disconcerting, and what you're alluding to is on the money with the contact tracing, and I heard you talking about yourself, your own personal experience there, and again, I'm thinking about you and hoping you're better quick, and like you said, this is just the name of the game right now. Even if you're fine, you got to be able to play by the rules, right? So that's what Arkansas is doing. Supposedly 2 positive tests. Neither were a player. Neither were a coach. Both were staff members, and we got this news yesterday afternoon. So then they subsequently began to contact trace and looked into players who maybe had come into contact with these couple of assistants. And ultimately today, the reports are A couple more positives, perhaps. They were not specific. Sam Pittman was not specific about what players. I've gotten a little bit of word that perhaps the defensive line's affected here and a couple of skill position players, but no confirmation on names yet. So translation, we went from very good chance of playing yesterday to adequate chance of playing. That's a direct quote from Sam Pittman a couple hours ago. An adequate chance of playing. So one more round of testing coming up on Friday, and we're cutting this thing close, man.
Okay, so do we know as of now how many players Arkansas has available?
Well, we know they need 53. So, a couple of days ago, it sounded like they were still on the other side of 60. And if what I'm being told today is correct, they're still plus minus a few in their favor. But it sounds like under 60 available players. And again, Matt, if they dip down to 52, 53, technically the game is off.
Yeah. So you said one more round of testing for Arkansas on Friday. Will there be – is it just one more Friday? They test tomorrow as well. And did they test today?
Yeah. So, look, I mean, to keep this stuff straight, you just got to be on top of it all the time. It feels like every team has its own kind of deal. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are the three dedicated testing days for Arkansas. So we're getting those results. That's why yesterday we found out some early news, and then today, I guess, getting confirmation on that news, and then Friday we'll have more. I mean, Matt, it's nauseating because it seems like even if guys aren't positive, if they were at all interactive with any of the guys who were, they've got to be out. And look, I mean, I'm not in any way trying to say it's not the right way to go. Just that obviously you well know this can cause all kinds of havoc on a roster real quick.
On a roster for everyday people trying to work who end up doing radio shows in their house, I get it. What is the general mood there surrounding this program right now, coming off a loss at Florida, but overall what has been a very surprisingly successful season?
Yeah, it's supercharged here in Fayetteville right now, Matt. I mean, people are pumped up about this team like they haven't been since, I mean, maybe the third year of Brett Bielema. So we're talking 5-6 years since you've had this kind of buzz around the football program. And, well, I mean, it's not like they're undefeated. It's not like they're contending for the divisional crown. Nobody's trying to say that. But given where they've been at and given the absolute dumpster, the last few years that we've seen in terms of wins and losses, for the SEC, the last 2 years and just one SEC win in the last 3. For them to be 3-4 right now, I mean, it's pretty remarkable when you consider it's still only Sam Pittman's first year. So he's come out and put a great staff together. You know that Matt Berriodum has coached his rear end off on defense, and they've gotten a lot of good moments out of Kendall Browse on offense. And mostly Sam Pittman is he's raised the expectation level. He's made these guys more accountable. They're playing for the old cliche, the back of the jersey. It means as much as the front of the jersey. It's not about, one for all right now. It's about the team and all that stuff. But Sam Pittman is getting results. We got a transfer quarterback at Felipe Franks who's putting up a tremendous season, 14 CDs against just the 3 INTs. And look, right now Arkansas at 3-4 with 3 games left, hopefully. LSU, Missouri, and then Alabama. I think all fans feeling like they got another winner to perhaps go over and get. The vibes are very positive right now.
Yeah. Josh Bertuccini's with us, 92.1 The Ticket, host of the Red Zone up there in Northwest Arkansas. He's on Twitter at RedZone921. Give him a follow. And by the way, 3-4, which should be 4-3, because Arkansas got hosed against Auburn. I mean, it's Sam Pittman, the job he's done. I know a lot of people are going to lean Dan Mullen. But Sam Pittman's got to be the SEC Coach of the Year. When you went from not winning a conference game in 3 years to what they've done this year, it's been mightily impressive. So give me a thought on, let's say the game does happen at 11 a.m. Central on Saturday. Give me a thought from Arkansas's perspective why this is a game that Arkansas, what looks, from the odds makers like a coin flip one way or another. Why is this a game where you'd favor Arkansas?
I go back to quarterback, Matt, as the first reason. I know you and I talked about this morning up here on my program, but I feel like Felipe Franks, I just mentioned him, has been such a steady presence for the team, and unless he is, and I have not heard that, but unless he's one of those players who's going to be kept out this weekend, which would totally change the dynamic of this game, but it sounds like that's not the case. So as long as Franks is good to go, I got to favor Arkansas at that position over Finley and Johnson and whatever LSU is doing. So, I mean, that scenario right there, I think Arkansas's got the receivers in the passing game to cause this LSU defense some fits. I also feel like on defense right now, I mean, Barry Odom has come up with ways to generate some very interesting looks to opposing quarterbacks. And again, if the youngins for LSU aren't up to speed and ready to go, I mean, I could see this Hog defense creating a couple of turnovers for sure in this game. So they're leading the country right now, Matt, with 13 interceptions, which sounds incredible to say, but they're able to be opportunistic, and I think they're going to cause some problems for LSU's quarterbacks this weekend. That said, I mean, LSU's got the swagger and the pride, and if Arkansas's defensive line is a little bit short because of the contact tracing, I can see LSU dictating with the running game a little bit. So I'll tell you what, the more I think about it, the more I think Vegas has this right. It feels like a pick-em kind of game. I think the 11 o'clock start will help Arkansas a little bit, play it early here at home, and we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be a great game either way.
Wait, elaborate there real quick. Why does the 11 a.m. start, do you think, favor Arkansas?
I think it favors Arkansas because they haven't played an early game yet this year. So every game they've played, they've kind of had to go through the motions of waiting all day to play the game. And they've had some difficult first quarters and first halves because of it. I'm thinking of the Tennessee game here in Fayetteville just a couple of weeks ago, when some of the players said afterwards they felt like perhaps they were a bit distracted by the time we got to the evening. Look, there's no guarantee that factors in the game, Matt. I just feel like the last couple of years the Hogs have fared better at home with the early starts. Maybe it's because it's, you're in your own bed, you're feeling more comfortable. I don't know, but I think an earlier game as opposed to a later game, I think it gives the Hogs a chance to come out and perhaps play their game a little bit more cleanly.
Yeah, it's so interesting, man, because the exact opposite is true down here. LSU just always prefers night games, and people feel like mornings tend to be sleepy. So I would tend to agree that I think a morning does favor Arkansas. I was just curious why and if it plays out that way. Josh Bertuccini, 92 on the ticket up there in Northwest Arkansas, giving us the latest on the Hogs. We have a little contact tracing issue there with COVID. Hopefully they get this game teed up and kicked off. It will have been 21 days since we've seen the Tigers play. I think a lot of people are itching to get some football. We appreciate it, JB. Thanks, man.
Matt, if I hear something, I'll let you know. Talk to me, buddy.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet Dine-In or Carry Out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. NBA draft is tonight, and at least one former Tiger should hear his name called. We'll talk about that when we come back. Glad you're hanging out with us here on Hump Day edition of AFR. AFR is brought to you by Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Make tonight an Ichiban night with 2 locations. You can dine in or carry out. Remember, they got all-weather patio dining at Ichiban. So if you're not wanting to go dine in at a restaurant, but you would like to eat out, you can eat on the patio outdoors, maybe a safer environment if that's what you're looking for, or if you want to take it to the house. They got curbside to go. You can carry out, of course, or you can just place your order, pull up, and they'll bring it out to your vehicle when you arrive. That's at Ichiban. 2 locations, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. That is Ichiban. And, of course, the new concept from our friends over at Ichiban, it's Bo-Ru Ramen, authentic Japanese ramen, right there in the Electric Depot on Government Street. Ichiban or Bo-Ru, make tonight an Ichiban night.
Adding a leader you need right when you need.
Stab.
My fault. I forgot to put the feed back in once I took the commercials out, and that's where the stab comes from.
So I had to be late. So if that happens again, just tell me go. So I'm sure I was heavy there, but I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a hard out.
Well, but for the affiliates, it's a problem.
Affiliates, yeah.
So they'll just rejoin us. Well, I guess they'll rejoin us in progress. But okay, yeah. So just a heads up, if that happens again, just say go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Skyler. Let's see. Have you seen any updated mock drafts for Skyler?
I haven't. I was just looking though for Tigers in the pros. I can keep looking.
Let's see. I saw one this week. I need to find it. I saw one this week that had him bumped up in round 1, which would be awesome for him. Where was it?
$30 back.
You. Were you talking to me?
Yeah, I was just telling you 30.
Oh. 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 Let's see. I might use some of this.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So according to a report from The Advocate, we know who LSU is going to open their season with on Wednesday in the Golden Window Tournament in Lincoln, Nebraska. Tigers will play University of San Francisco. So that's November the 25th, so that's a week from today. LSU basketball opens its season in the Golden Window Tournament up in Lincoln. So they'll play San Francisco on Wednesday. And then, I'm sorry, that's on the 25th. Yeah, a week from today. And then on the 26th, they'll play Western Kentucky. And then 2 days later, they'll play St. Louis. So 3 games against San Francisco, Western Kentucky, St. Louis on the 25th, 26th, 28th, that according to The Advocate. So we know how LSU will open its season now, and it's exciting. You get up to Lincoln, get out of town, surrounding the holiday. And as we know, LSU, like many other campuses, are not going to welcome students back after Thanksgiving break to try to limit COVID interaction, as it would make a lot of sense, right? People go home, they're with their families, friends, for the holidays, and then if you come back to campus, that's sort of one of those spreader events. So trying to limit that. I do think that that's one of the reasons why we will see a successful conclusion to the football season and a start to the basketball season as well. Even though it might be bumpy at takeoff, I think that's one reason that it will level off. But there's just been so much talk about this LSU basketball team. I know that the AP and the coaches poll had them just outside of the top 25. Lindy's Sports, who we referenced in the offseason, had LSU ranked preseason number 15, which I think is very much warranted. Dickie V, who hates LSU, his own personal top 40, or certainly is miffed at LSU fans. His own personal top 40, he's got LSU 19th. So LSU's kind of in that range. That's quite honestly where, if I had a vote, and I don't, but if I did, that's where I would put LSU, somewhere in that sort of 15 to 20 range, and then see if they can win and ascend in the rankings. But you're talking about a team that returns 3 starters, including Trendon Watford, who's an SEC Player of the Year candidate. And you know the drill. You had a consensus top 5 class with a freshman like Cam Thomas, who they think could fill it up from anywhere, and then you add the transfers that you added. Your deficiency a year ago was size and length. And this time a year ago, Will Wade was, when he was asked over and over again about his lack of length and size, he said, listen, this is the type of team I'm more comfortable coaching. Remember, we talked about this last year because he said, I never had 7-footers at VCU or at Chattanooga. This is the type of team I'm comfortable coaching. But night in, night out against the SEC, it just wasn't good enough. And it wasn't good enough defensively for LSU. And to Will's credit, they reassessed and they managed this roster and they went out and got what they needed. They got Brian Penn Johnson. You go add a guy like Josh LeBlanc, Josh Gray, a 7-footer, of course, Sharif O'Neal. They hit the transfer market. Of course, a great freshman class coming in. You got some veterans back. Charles Manning is going to be back. So you look at this team and you go, man, they have everything. They have scorers. They have wings. They have rim protection. They have ball handlers. Can they put it all together in a strange COVID year? We'll see, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's not often that, we had Josh Bertaccini from 92 on the ticket up in Arkansas just a minute ago. And he was saying, listen, the excitement for Arkansas football hasn't been this high in probably 5 years. And the crazy part of that is that's basketball country. Those are basketball-crazed fans. And their interest for basketball isn't quite peaked yet because football is doing well. Here, it's kind of the opposite. Football has struggled, and so the interest for basketball, because of the prospects of this team being really good, is at a fever pitch. I don't think there's been this much excitement for an LSU basketball season since the Ben Simmons year. And that was for just the obvious reason that you knew you had this transcendent talent, a one and done, and everybody wanted to see Ben Simmons play. And that season obviously didn't end like many of us had hoped or thought it would. But this is the most exciting preamble to a season we've seen since Ben Simmons, and hopefully this one has a much better conclusion to it than that season did. Skyler Mays, of course, will not be playing for LSU. That's because he graduated. And Skyler Mays is very likely going to hear his name called tonight. If you have not done so yet, I would highly recommend go to LSU basketball social media. They have, I saw it on Twitter. I'm sure they have it on other platforms as well. But they did, and Cody Worsham, tip of the cap, who does a really good job producing content for LSU. He's got this sort of mini docuseries on Skyler Mays, and the first episode that's up is Sky is the Limit, episode 1, Taking Flight, and it's a mini series, I would assume, on Skyler Mays. The first episode, a lot of Skyler Mays and of course the late Wade Sims and their relationship, but it's about a 6-minute video. I would highly recommend you go check it out. One of LSU's greatest student athletes, and I use those two words in tandem intentionally because Skyler Mays, of course, is as decorated an academic scholar as LSU Athletics has produced, who envisions one day going to med school, but he is probably going to have to put that off because Skyler Mays is going to hear his name called tonight. If you look at any variety of mock drafts, most project Skyler Mays somewhere in the 40s, which would put him in the top half of round 2. Remember, only first-round draft picks get guaranteed contracts, but Skyler's one of those guys. Like, for example, SI projects Skyler 45 overall to Orlando. ESPN projects him 46 to Portland. The Athletic projects him 47 to the Celtics. CBS Sports hasn't projected the highest that I saw, which was 40th overall to Memphis. But expect Skyler to hear his name called in the early part of round 2, and he's a guy that I believe if he wants, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he'll be content to give the NBA a try and see if he can make a roster. Now maybe he'd be a G League candidate, a two-way contract candidate, similar to what we saw Tremont Waters and Antonio Blakeney. I mean, we've seen guys take that route and have success and have it be their entrance into the NBA. Of course, no one's done that more successfully, the 10-day contracts, than Garrett Temple, who spent a year away from the NBA and then came back and has been, right there among the longest tenured NBA players in LSU history, along with Shaq and Pistol Pete. So I think that opportunity for Skyler Mays will be there. If he wants a professional basketball career, he can get it because Skyler's a guy that can shoot from the outside. He can slash and get to the rim and finish, and he is not afraid to defend. And that is something that if you're piecing together an NBA roster, you look for guys with certain skill sets. It's really how Garrett Temple set the hook in the NBA. He was an elite perimeter defender. You could tell Garrett with his length, get out there and defend the best wing player or the best guard on the other team, and that was his job, and he did it great, and he was willing to do it, and that skill set allowed him the opportunity to stay in the NBA, and he's become a really good scorer and much better all-around player, and I think Skyler could be a version of that if he wants to persevere through what may come, G League or international ball. But Skyler's going to hear his name called tonight, and that's awesome, and I wish him all the luck in the world with it. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. If you want to join the show, you can tweet us at Matt Moscona at 1045 ESPN or jump at the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. A lot of you are getting a look at my office because I'm doing the show from home today and probably for a few days here as we are I'm contact tracing, so I'm following Guarantee's policies. I can't be in the building, and so they were good enough to get me a remote kit, and I'm set up from home. So I'm here in my office, so you can see some of my whiskey over there, including Sazerac Rye, of course. Rony the Tiger, big cutout of my son Drew behind me that we had in the yard for his birthday. Anyway, join us and feel free to comment. Appreciate you for being here with us. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, I'm excited about this. We've been promoting this for several weeks now, and today is giveaway day. Our friend Whitney Bro is going to join us, her Day 18 campaign, reminding women on the 18th day of every month to perform a self-breast exam. She and my friend Shelly Brown Tomplay, who created Rony the Tiger, have partnered to do a great giveaway. They sold raffle tickets for about a month for a pink Rony the Tiger, original art canvas. It's gorgeous. And raffle tickets were $10. All the money raised going to Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center, and we are going to draw for the winner when we come back. So very much looking forward to that and having Whitney jump aboard with us here. It is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out, stick around, whatever. Go to break, Musso. We'll be back with Whitney Bro.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage, less money. 293-0450, 293-0450. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net. They're open till 5, so you got another half an hour if you want to give them a call. Listen, we're moving toward the new year, and a lot of people around the new year implement New Year's resolutions. If that's you, how about part of your New Year's resolution to be to get your financial house in order? And you can start with that now. Listen, we all have to pay for insurance every month. Every single one of us. We have insurance on our home, on our auto, maybe a boat, an RV, a motorcycle, a camp, whatever it may be. And the bottom line is too many of us are overpaying to be underinsured. If you have not independently shopped to see if you could get better coverage for less money, you're probably overpaying. If you have been with your insurance provider for 5, 7, 10 years longer, you're probably overpaying. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop. 293-0450.
Almost 150 years of...
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all. Let's see. If Arkansas wins this game, sweet Lord. I know, LJ, you're right, bro. What SEC team is playing for next year? This could be a boot for a year. I hate that trophy anyway. Todd Jones, Matt, who is your GOAT? My GOAT in what sport? LJ, Matt, you know if they'll let us in the PMAC for games. So, LJ, as of now, the answer is yes. I mean, candidly, the setup with the percentages for the PMAC, percentage attendance, is the same as with football. I think it's right around 20%. And they distanced the seats such that they could fit like 3,000 people in the Maravich Center. So, you know, now if we regress, right, if if we end up with, falling back into phase 2 or phase 1 or whatever. There's some talk about that. I don't know. I just genuinely don't know. But then that could change. I would assume if there's no large gatherings. But I don't have the answer to that. But what I do know is that they do have a configuration for the Maravich Center to allow fans in the numbers about 3,000 fans. Let's see. Zachary Moe, why he's at home. The COVIDs, man, the COVIDs. It's so funny, too, man, because last week I was talking about, Nick Saban and Aaron Rodgers and how they're kind of talking about how policies don't make sense. And here we go. Phase 3, phase 2. Phase 2. Phase 2. Ooh.
Whitney on hold.
All right. Boodly, 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 bam, bam, bam. Why did Twitter do fleets? That's only on the mobile, too, right? Like, I'm looking at the desktop Twitter. There's no fleets on there. That's stupid. Oh, I'll get over it. I guess. Maybe.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, let's welcome aboard our friend Whitney Bro, breast cancer survivor, all-around awesome lady, great Tiger fan, and she and our friend Shelly Brown Tomplay did an awesome thing with Roni Goes Pink. If you watch AFR every day, I have a Roni the Tiger on the set. If you're watching us here on YouTube today from my home, well, there it is. I got my AFR Roni here at the house as well. Really cool tiger that Shelly, who's an artist and a singer and a creative, designed during COVID-19 shutdown. She paints them on Facebook Live every Sunday night and auctions them off, and it's a great piece of art. A lot of times it might have a purple and gold flare in it. Well, Shelly painted a pink Roni the Tiger to raffle off with all the money going to the Day 18 campaign and, of course, Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center for Breast Cancer Research. Whitney Bro joins us now on a day we get to give away a pretty cool gift here. Whitney, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing good, Matt. I'm actually here at the Mary Bird Perkins Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center offices, and we've got this really cool gold copper. We're going to spin around in a few minutes and actually pick the winner of Roni's Goes Pink. So it's a great day.
I love it. So I'm going to let you, in your own words, again, explain Day 18 campaign and why this is so important.
No, I appreciate it, Matt. You know, March 20th for me was a crazy day just this year where I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And at 32 years old, I never in a million years thought that would be what I'd be dealing with in 2020. But, hey, we didn't think COVID would happen either. But, you know, out of that kind of anger and frustration of just not knowing that I was even at risk at 32, we decided to do something about it, and kind of thus was born Day 18 campaign, with the idea that 1 in 8, and I mean, it's a statistic that is so true, that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. And I was one of those 1 in 8. And my goal with Day 18 is to ensure that other women in our community, and certainly the men that love us, can help us, you know, make monthly self-breast exams a habit and routine practice. So that way we're able to catch breast cancer early. And that way you have, you know, obviously increase in survival rates, additional treatment options. It's just so critically important. And today is, of course, the 18th day of the month. So we're super excited that we've got Women's Hospital, Mary Bird Perkins, even Blue Cross Blue Shield tapped in today. We're getting the word out about women performing those self-breast exams on the 18th day. And so Shelly painted a pink Roni, and we were able to sell a lot of tickets at RoniGoesPink.com. What is that money raised today actually going to go to do? So Mary Bird Perkins, our Lady Lake Cancer Center, and Women's Hospital partner together on one of the state-of-the-art facilities, innovation right here in the heart of Baton Rouge at Women's Hospital at the Breast and GYN Cancer Pavilion. All of the money raised from Roni Goes Pink is going to stay right here in Baton Rouge to support early breast cancer screenings and breast exams on the Breastmobile and all of these other amazing resources that they have to ensure that women in our community have the best chance when they're fighting breast cancer right here locally. And that's an amazing thing that we have partnerships in our healthcare community, and all of the dollars that we've raised from Roni Goes Pink is going to stay right here in town.
Did you say they have a Breastmobile?
They have a breast cancer mobile. Yes, they do breast exams on wheels, Matt. You know what I'm saying? Don't you dare. Stop it.
There's just so many ways we could have gone with that. Okay. No, but that is phenomenal. Okay, so what do we do? Are you going to spin the hopper like you explained? Because we're obviously radio here and we're not side by side. So tell me exactly how this goes down.
This is this manship school education going down live and in person. So we've got a gold spinning hopper right here at Mary Bird Perkins, our Lady Lake Cancer Center. I'm spinning it around. We've got a little slot here that I'm now going to open, and we're going to dig into the hopper. Now, Matt, don't you want to know how much money we raised?
Well, I do.
Are you ready for this?
I absolutely do. I didn't know if you were ready to disclose that, but I would love to know.
Because, I kind of passed out when they told me a few minutes ago, but I'm okay. But
okay.
So in total, we raised $3,000 for Mary Bird, our Lady Lake Cancer Center, and Women's Hospital with Roni Goes Pink.
That is awesome.
Huge. Matt, here's the thing, too. Think about it like we have been in one of the most difficult years in our lifetime, right?
Yep.
So for Baton Rouge and for our community to come out in support of women with breast cancer, this is amazing. And for all of those dollars to stay here locally, it's a pretty big deal. So I've reached in deep. We have cards that are with pink lettering on the name.
Okay.
And if you're ready, I don't know if Moose has any drum roll music.
Moose, do you have a drum roll? I don't know if I didn't cue him on a drum roll. Do you have one?
No, I don't have it.
He doesn't have a drum. That's okay. Here you go. Wait, I got it. Ready? Here we go. This is AFR at home COVID drum roll.
Let's go. And the winner of Roni Goes Pink is Rivers Breedlove.
I thought you were going to say Rivers Huey. I almost fell out of my chair.
I know. Me too. When I saw it at first, I was having a good laugh.
People would have been like, oh, it's rigged. Congrats to Rivers Breedlove. That is awesome. Enjoy this great piece of art. Hopefully you hang it proudly at your home, your office, wherever it may be. So you have Rivers' contact.
We have Rivers' contact information. And, again, a big thank you to all who participated in this raffle. Shelly did a really cool thing last night, though, Matt. She took a picture of Roni Goes Pink so that we can do some canvas reprints as well for those funds to continue to support our folks here locally. So Rivers Breedlove is our winner, and more on keeping up with RoniGoesPink.com. For those who didn't win today, they can still get a little piece of this great history that we started here in Baton Rouge.
I love it. So we should absolutely shout out Shelly as well. You can go to RonyTheTiger.com, R-O-N-Y, RonyTheTiger.com. She does originals, but there are canvas and paper prints and then T-shirts as well of a lot of the Roni the Tiger stuff. And so did she give you – I'm putting you on the spot here, Whitney. Did she give you any idea of when the Roni Goes Pink would be available for purchase?
Not just yet, but as soon as we do, we will be blasting it out everywhere because it's, really appreciate Shelly. She is one of the most fantastic women that I've met and really appreciate her. She doesn't say no to much at all.
That's true.
So for her to yes for this one really means a lot. So we really appreciate you, Shelly. Thank you so much.
RonyTheTiger.com. Y'all support Shelly's art. She's phenomenal. And Whitney, so are you. Job well done. You did a great thing and raised a bunch of money. We were happy to be a very small part of it. And Day 18 campaign. Fellas, tell the ladies in your life, mark this date. Set a reminder in their calendar every single month, 18th day of every month, to make sure they're performing those self-breast exams. Whitney, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Matt. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you do the very same. It is after further review. You know, the point she made there that's so true is you're talking about raising that amount of money in a COVID year. It's just I know there are a lot of charities that have that rely on fundraisers, and a lot of fundraisers have not been able to happen in 2020 because of COVID. And a lot of fundraisers that normally go down haven't been able to. So a lot of these organizations, these nonprofits that exist on fundraisers haven't been able to happen. And then on top of that, a lot of people who have seen their sort of financial circumstance altered this year because of COVID. It's been difficult to raise money. So but I'm just very, very happy to have been able to play a small part in that. Whitney's great. I'm thrilled for her personally that her cancer is in remission, and to be able to connect Whitney with my good friend Shelley to do something great with our audience as well was very, very rewarding. So thanks to everyone who participated. And when Roni Goes Pink is available for sale, for purchase on canvas or prints, we'll let you know about that as well. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Hey, listen, I'm going to keep reminding you a little bit about this because we will be, in the next month or so, opening up something we've talked about for a few weeks now. We will have an Ideal Protein weight loss contest at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana with our AFR audience. I'm going to participate. I put on pandemic pounds. I know a lot of people did. I gained 20 pounds during quarantine, and I have not yet lost it. And the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, they offer the Ideal Protein diet where you work with someone who keeps you accountable, a coach that will weigh you weekly and make sure that you're doing the right things nutritionally to lose the weight, set your goal, and then give you a plan moving forward. Anyway, we're going to do it as an AFR family for everybody who wants to participate. That's coming up. We'll be giving you details soon. But in the meantime, all the great products and services at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Moose will have Tigers in the Pros when we come back. Russ Mitchell about 30 minutes from right now. Glad you are hanging out on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Plucker. Still a ton to get to. Ed Ogeron and Sam Pittman meeting with the media. Sean Payton, his Wednesday conference call, updating Drew Brees, the quarterback situation going into this week, previewing the Falcons. We'll get to all of that, and glad you are still with us here on Hump Day edition of AFR.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds and remind you about Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com. If you want a better experience with a contractor, call Premier South Roofing. If you want a reputable company taking care of the roof that protects you and your family, call Premier South Roofing. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Super Service Award from Angie's List. Torch Award for Ethics in Business. Go read the reviews, what your friends and your neighbors say. And quite honestly, you can go read Google or Facebook reviews, but more importantly, just look around town. Notice how many homes in your neighborhood have a Premier South Roofing truck out front. Notice how many businesses and office complexes around Baton Rouge have that Premier South Roofing truck out front. Notice how many times when you're on the road, you see those blue Premier South Roofing trucks all over town. Word's out, y'all. Roof repairs or roof replacements, Premier South Roofing. PremierSouthLA.com, PremierSouthLA.com.
Swing into
When you got to go, you got to go. And the walkaway was not premature. As we've said, the walkaway was not premature. Who is that? Chet. The walkaway was not premature. For those who are just joining, this is a straight line feed. So normally when we're in studio, you are on YouTube, you're getting the feed that we're sending to CST for television. So you get the commercials, the video commercials,
30
and all
seconds.
that stuff. 10-4. This is a straight line feed. So everything I hear, you hear. So Musso, commercial, whatever. So my mic isn't off. So when I took my headset off and put it down, you heard the blum, but the people on radio did not. So this is kind of a little peek behind the scene. Emil said that was a Godfather reference, you fake Italian. Hey, I've never seen Godfather. What else? All right, Moose, you got Tigers in the pros?
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Appreciate Stevie Levy, the king of the wing, and all our friends over at Pluckers. Always a great night to get by Pluckers. You got NBA draft tonight. You need a place to hang out. Get on by Pluckers. Watch the draft. Eat some wings, drink some beer, hang out Nicholson or Bluebonnet Dine-In or carry out Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Okay, Musso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Well, as you said, the NBA draft is tonight. Yep. CBS Sports has their latest NBA draft, mock draft, out 1 hour ago, put out by Gary Parrish over there. Skyler Mays from LSU, the only former Tiger projected to go. And where he's projected to go? Well, that is second round, 42nd overall 42. To the New Orleans Pelicans.
So that is, I was going to ask you, Muse, that's gaining a lot of traction when you think about the way, now I don't know if they need another guard, but when you think about the way they're building this roster, it does kind of make sense, man. Team guy, 3-and-D. I mean, that's kind of Skyler's MO. I mean, if he makes a team, it's because he has that versatility and someone's going to find a spot from on their bench. That does make a lot of sense, yeah? You think?
Yeah, no, I would absolutely love it. I mean, if the Pelicans drafted Skyler Mays, that'd be great. I mean, he's just a guy who's going to – I mean, he takes direction great. He's coachable. Coach Wade has said that he's gotten better each year he's been at LSU, and that's just going to continue in his time in the NBA.
Skyler Mays, and keep an eye on Garrett Temple, bro. It would not surprise – I mean, I'm going off the deep end here, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Garrett, who's a free agent, if Garrett ends up in New Orleans. I'm really kind of pulling for that a lot. Garrett, by the way, has a major cheerleader, Darnell Lazar, who's House is former LSU, Woodlawn LSU, who's been a great friend of our show for a lot of years. House is on the Pelican staff, and so if you need someone in-house to go lobby real hard for Garrett, Darnell's that guy. Just saying, man. I'm just saying. I would be really, really pumped to see the Pelicans land Skyler in the draft and to sign Garrett Temple. I think you'd have two awesome guys. It would be great culture guys. That would just contribute a lot to this franchise. I would love to see it.
I'm all for that too. Bring all the former LSU players to New Orleans.
And by the way, I'm going to interrupt one more time. Don't minimize the importance of having an LSU guy. Like when Marcus Thornton was playing for the Hornets, it was massive, man. Every time you make a three, they go dun dun dun.
Yep.
Like if you want to engage Baton Rouge, and the Pelicans need that. They need to draw from the North Shore and they need to draw from Baton Rouge. That's why back in the day, I know I'm going on a tangent. When CST when Charter had the CST deal to carry the Pelicans, it was such a big deal because it brought the North Shore, the Pelicans to the North Shore, then the Hornets. Anyway, yes, if you can get LSU guys onto that team, it matters because you're going to draw interest from a maybe casual fan that might be more inclined to watch.
Look at our stick with our guys at CBS Sports and look at their rookie rankings for the NFL. Week 11 are now out.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry.
Joe Burrow remains in the top spot as the best rookie in the NFL. That's coming off of a pretty difficult performance for Joey B. He was playing the Steelers defense, which is no joke, though. So Joe Burrow holds on to the number 1 spot. Justin Jefferson is at number 5 after his 4th 100-yard game.
Who the hell they have ahead of him? Herbert, who else?
Well, they have Justin Herbert is at 2. Antoine Winfield Jr., safety for the Bucs, is at 3. And an offensive guard for the Patriots, Mike Onwenu. I don't even know how to say his name.
Way to go, Antoine Winfield. Nice job against Drew Brees. Your old defense getting torched. What a joke. Get that guy in there. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't think Antoine Winfield's tied any records like Justin Jefferson has, tying Randy Moss's records in Minnesota. But Jets is at number 5. To find the next Tiger, you have to go all the way down to number 15.
They hate
find
defense.
Running back. They do. They really, really do, because the fact that Patrick Queen is not in these rankings anymore is a joke.
Bogus.
But Clyde Edwards-Helaire is at number 15. Helaire. Hilaire?
No.
Helaire.
Got it.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is at number 15. The Chiefs running back and former Tiger.
You did it, Moose. You did it.
Rounds out the rankings. That's Tigers in the pros.
All right, presented by, do we have any latency here? Can we do this? Presented by KYSBestHemp.com.
Uh-oh, it didn't work.
Yeah, we got a little latency. That's okay. Kentucky's Best Hemp. Lewis Coleman's company, former LSU pitcher, Lewis Coleman, Kentucky's Best Hemp. Use the promo code AFR30 and save 30% off your order for Kentucky's Best Hemp. KYSBestHemp.com. Musso can't do it, but I'll do it. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's Best Hemp. Promo code AFR30 to save 30% off your order at Kentucky's Best Hemp. All right. Coming up after the top of the hour, we will – I got 2 minutes. Coming up after the top of the hour, let's hear some of what Ed Ogeron had to say today, along with Sam Pittman, getting ready for the LSU-Arkansas game, which is scheduled for Saturday at 11 a.m. at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. But Arkansas is having its own issues with COVID this week, and they are precariously close to that 53 number. So one more round of testing, and we'll know if this game's going to happen. Sean Payton had his regular Wednesday conference call. Can you play one, please? He was asked to update the quarterback plans for this weekend.
No updates, Mike. I'm eating my bagel. I was hoping to be chewing it when you asked that question.
He's such a jerk. I mean, you got to ask the question, man. Let's follow it up. Number 2, he was asked for the update on Drew Brees.
No update on Drew's injury status either? Specific?
Nope, nothing specific. Yeah, nothing there.
I need to get Mike Triplett on the phone. I may call Mike Triplett. Muse, let's cold call Mike Triplett to start hour 3. I want to cold call him to ask him, what is going through your mind when you ask that question? Because you, as a reporter, you're not doing your job if you fail to ask that question. It's the most obvious question you have to ask. But you also know, without a shadow of a doubt, what Sean Payton is going to say. So all right, we're gonna cold call Triplett. We'll do that coming up shortly. Saints, Falcons on Sunday from the Dome. I'm excited about this one. I think this is a huge, of course, for the Jameis reasons, but it's a huge get-right spot after a year ago when the Saints were coming off of their bye and completely overlooked Atlanta. Atlanta has won 3 of 4, and they should have won 4 in a row, by the way. And Atlanta's coming off a bye. So this is a trickier spot than most are assuming, and I'm very curious to see how New Orleans handles it with the new starting quarterback. So, all right, it's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Hour 3 is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Remember, y'all, I tell you all the time, call the Williamson Eye Center, go for your consultation, find out if there is a refractive procedure for you that can help you see without contacts or glasses. Some people, however, are always going to want to wear their contacts or glasses. That's fine. And right now, through the end of the year, I mean, today through December the 31st, Williamson Eye Center has a BOGO 50% off sale. So you buy one pair and get 50% off your second pair. That's prescription glasses, non-prescription glasses, sunglasses. Buy one pair, get your second pair 50% off right now through December 31st. It's the holiday BOGO 50% off sale at the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEye.com.
Hey, this is Jordy Collada with Bradley.
All right. All the YouTube peeps seem to enjoy the behind-the-scenes stuff. Okay, YouTube. Drew Lyons. Not that again. I thought we were switching to Clyde only. Well, I didn't. Muse is the one that said it, not me. Oh, okay. All right, Muse. Muse, you can talk to me. The YouTube.
I guess I could have, huh?
Yeah,
I could have done that, but I don't know. I figured you have to text me the number anyway, so I just did that. I don't think you want to give Mike's number out over YouTube.
No, but you could have said, hey, send me Mike's number, and I'll be like, okay, I'll text it to you. Mike Triplett. I still have Mike Triplett in my phone as Times Picayune. need time to update that. Okay, Muse, I'm sending you Tripp's contact. I hope he answers. I don't know if he will.
When you want to cold call him, do you want me to bring it up over air, dialing and everything, or you just want me to call him and then pot him up?
I kind of want to cold call him over the air.
Okay, we can do that.
But that's not a super professional thing to do. And with Mike, it's always Mike is the super professional guy. But I mean, it's not Mike and Mike and I have a good time. It's just Mike is actually a really good professional reporter and all that sort of stuff. It's, what am I trying to do? Oh yeah.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. After his second positive test for PEDs, Mets second baseman Robinson Cano is suspended for the entire 2021 season. He'll forfeit his $24 million salary. The Timberwolves, Warriors, and Hornets right now hold the top three picks in tonight's NBA draft. Could 18-year-old LaMelo Ball, with no college experience, be the number one pick? ESPN's Jay Billis says Ball is primarily a passer right now.
He doesn't shoot it, and he hasn't shown much interest in defending to this point, but he loves to play. He puts his time in, and I have no doubt that he'll transition well and be a good NBA player.
Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Thunder plan to trade Danny Green to the 76ers. The original diagnosis on Saints quarterback Drew Brees is now confirmed. According to ESPN's Ed Werder, he has a collapsed lung and 5 broken ribs.
Coming up Thursday, as we get closer to the college basketball season now starting, one blue blood is trying to prove they're becoming a football power too. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. Matt from home today. Musso back in studio. The COVID contact tracing police. They've handcuffed me. Nonetheless, glad you are hanging out with us. We will do our part, and when they say we can be back in studio, we will be. But feeling great, so all good. Russ Mitchell, 15 minutes from right now. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. All right, I wanted to do this. I want to hear from Ed Orgeron, Sam Pittman, who both met with the media today, and I do want to cold call Mike Triplett on air because can you play again, Muse, number 1 from Sean Payton today? This was on Sean Payton's scheduled teleconference, and Mike Triplett had to ask, or he was the one who did ask, about the quarterback plans. And here was Sean Payton's response.
No updates, Mike. I'm eating my bagel. I was hoping to be chewing it when you asked that question.
Okay. So I want to ask Mike Triplett what is going through his mind when he asks the question. First, though, LSU heads to Arkansas this week. I am very curious to see what the team morale is going to be. This is Orgeron 5, Muse. This is a team where I believe, I'm sure many of you agree, this isn't like some groundbreaking thought. I think with the 2 weeks off, one of two things happen. Either this team realized it has nothing to play for, they disengage further and go through the motions the rest of the year, or this was an opportunity to hit the reset button, to forget what happened in the first 5 games, to reassess goals for the remaining 5 games, and to play at a different level. So which is it going to be? Here was Orgeron.
Wait, what bite? What bite?
5.
Very excited. John, we had an enthusiastic practice yesterday. Guys came back. We had most of our guys back. By the take of practice yesterday, the guys are ready to play. Obviously, we have to have a great day today, have a great week of preparation, get up early in the morning and play against Arkansas. It's a very good football team right now.
So they're very excited, had a spirited practice. I don't know that I would necessarily expect them to say anything different, but that's good to hear. Please, 10, please, Musso. The other question I have is about goals, right? I mean, you're not going to win a championship this year, so what are your goals moving forward now?
You know, hey, we got to take it one game at a time, man. We got a lot of football left. We got a young football team. You know, many of these guys were not starters on the championship team, so this is a brand-new team. I told them we're building a championship team just like we lost after Troy. We had to get together, get back to the fundamentals and the basics and acquire some grit and some toughness, and that's what we're doing right now. We're in a building phase of a championship football team, but we've got a lot of room to grow.
I'll tell you that the references to Troy in 2017 – for me, it makes sense, but it doesn't sit well. That's the kind of program-defining loss that you hope you never regress to that point again. And I also look and I say, right, as a program, if your ambition is to reach a level that of only a few programs have achieved and maintained, like Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State and Oklahoma, although this year notwithstanding. But you understand where you're constantly in that race. It is disconcerting to hear the coach continue to reference a loss to a group of 5 school 4 seasons ago. LSU fans don't want to regress to – you don't want to win and then have to regress to 2017 and then build up again. You want to win and maintain that level. Listen, my feeling, I said coming into this year, for LSU after winning that championship, the basement expectation every year should be New Year's 6. That should be your not playoff, because it's not realistic to be in the playoff every single year. But you should be in the New Year's 6 every single year. You should be a 10-2 football team in the New Year's 6 every single year is your basement expectation. LSU made the Fiesta Bowl as a 9-3 team. That should be your basement. What's going on right now? It's unacceptable. And I think they feel that way as well. As much as we're going to talk and have talked about quarterbacks, as I'll maintain, the issue this year, and you all know it, has not been offense. LSU's averaging 38 points a game. They've been able to score on everybody except Auburn, even though they moved the ball a bunch, too many turnovers. The bigger issue has obviously been an historically bad defense. 13, please, Musso, if you would. Here was Ed Ogeron talking about the progress he feels they've made on defense.
Yeah, simplifying and playing within the scheme of the defense, really working on stance, alignment, assignment, technique, being in the right place, being in the right time, making the right calls, finding out if our guys can make these adjustments. If they can't, we're not going to make them. We've practiced for the last 2 weeks the things that hurt us, which is a lot. And but there are some concepts that have given us problems, and we're trying to eliminate those problem concepts.
We practiced the things that have hurt us, which is a lot. That is an accurate statement. LSU, Arkansas, 11 a.m. on Saturday from Reynolds Razorback Stadium. That has provided Arkansas has enough players to play this game, which as of last count, they're teetering, but are above the 53 right now. Okay, Moose, let's call our friend Mike Triplett. In full disclosure, we have not prepped Mike for this. I do not know if he's going to answer. We may call him, and he may be at dinner with his family. I have no idea, but I want to call him on the spot, and this may blow up in my face because he may not answer. Okay, Moose, let's call Triplett, if we could. All right, here we go. And watch Triplett have an echo. He's going to answer and then have an echo. Or maybe he's listening. Someone tipped him off to answer. No, he's not going to answer. Nope. Moose, be ready to hang up if their automated says you've reached and it starts dialing out his number. Okay, well. All right, Moose, you can hang up. Now, was he about to answer?
No, it was his. No, it was his machine.
that was hi. This is Mike. Okay. Anyway,
yep.
Muse, I'm a little disappointed. You take risks sometimes on air, and strikes as our friend the dude would say, strikes and gutters, man. Strikes and gutters.
Strikes and gutter.
That was a gutter. Can you just play the 2 cuts of Triplett with Peyton again, 1 and 2? Just fire them away back to back.
No updates, Mike. I'm eating my bagel. I was hoping to be chewing it when you asked that question.
No update on Drew's injury status either? Specific?
Nope. Nothing specific. Yeah, nothing there.
I had to cut the rest of that conference call around Sean Payton chewing a bagel.
Why is that
so good? It was so good.
Why is that so good? Like, the thing is, I really don't like when coaches take that approach because it's a lack. I remember Sean snapped at Kat Terrell earlier this year when she asked about injuries, and he said he what I didn't like about it is he said something like, "Oh, maybe that's how they did things in Cincinnati." It's like, and she said, "I'm just doing my job, Sean," and he said, "Well, so am I," and I get that, I respect it, but it's a two-way street. If Sean wants the reporter to respect that he's doing his job, he's got to respect they're doing theirs as well. And there's ways you can go about not answering the question without trying to embarrass people because they're just asking the question. They're just a messenger doing their job. But That's one of those where you know what you're walking into. Like with Sean Payton, you know what you're walking into when you ask that question. Anyway, I was eating my bagel. That is the first time I've ever heard Sean Payton in a press conference reference baked goods. All right, it's after further review. We'll talk to Russ Mitchell to preview the weekend ahead in the SEC next. Stick around.
AFR.
Hump Day shows brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dine In, Carry Out, 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Tonight, the NBA Draft is on television, so we expect to hear Skyler Mays' name called. Where will you be when Skyler has his name called? You could be at Pluckers, dining on delicious, scrumptious chicken wings, award-winning jumbo chicken wings, maybe some holy macaroni, fried pickles, the guapo dip. It's not on the menu anymore, but ask for it. They'll still make it for you, because that's one of the great things about Pluckers is you can kind of make your own menu, mix and match and get creative, and they'll do it for you. It's at Pluckers. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, Nicholson just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in or carry out. It is always a great night to get by Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
It's employee pricing for...
I'm sure I'm going to get a text from Mike Triplett like, hey, man, all these people told me you were trying to call me on the air. Sorry, Mike. Or maybe he heard. Maybe he heard.
He heard. He's like, I'm not doing this.
Yes. He's like, I'm not answering. Let me see if he texted me. Damn it, Moscona. You made me do Mad Libs on air, and now you're cold calling me. Yeah. All right, what's up, YouTube? Drew Lyons, toss anything on the menu and any sauce, add it. They will, dude. It's crazy, dude. They do. What y'all doing? 135 watching. Y'all ask me anything. Steven DW, nightcap tonight. Of course. What else am I going to do? Sitting at home. Freaking quarantine. I mean, I have nary a symptom. Nothing. I have no symptoms. I have not a symptom. Not one symptom. But here I am. Oh, man, you can't go anywhere. Great. Stupid. Who else we got? So, yes, we will. Who is that? Steven, yes, we will have nightcap tonight. Staten Dubois, never seen The Godfather. No, man. So I've seen Rich Paul, the Drew appearance. I can probably get Drew in here right now. And actually with Russ coming up, Russ loves Drew.
Russ on hold.
All right.
15 seconds.
Bobby Boucher. No contact tracing, man. Chet Buxton. Elon Musk took 4 tests, 2 positive, 2 negative. So stupid.
I told him I never tired. I told him that on the
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname, you're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas. Just like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
All right, we do it every Wednesday, courtesy of our friends at South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. Joined by Russ Mitchell of College Football News. Russ, how are you?
Kicking the tires, lighting the fires, baby.
Am I gonna be sabotaged and blindsided by Ruffin again this week?
No, but I have your mother on the phone.
Oh, do you?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. Hey, Mom.
But we could make that a recurring segment.
Well, you probably don't know this. So my mom does come on every year during.
I know this.
Well, I didn't know if you knew that. How would I know you knew that?
I know this.
All right.
Because I listen to the show, man.
I appreciate that. Do you watch us in Phoenix?
Yeah, I know. See, it would be so easy for me just to say yes and shut up, but that would not be the truth. So,
okay.
No, I know it's on the Cox cable, right?
Yeah, it's on CST.
Do it. I listen. I like to listen, man. I don't watch any of the radio guys on TV. I like listening to it on the radio.
Whatever.
Or the computer.
Whatever. All right, let's.
You know what I do?
Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm not done. I stream the show off my phone when I'm driving to and from work.
Well, that's good. I mean,
like I streamed the day before show on the way to work, and then I stream, what had happened that day on the way back.
Did we talk about anything good?
No, not always. But it's better. It's much better radio than the sports radio out here. I'll
Good.
tell you that.
I'll take it. We'll look ahead to this weekend in just a second. Let's look back at some of the notables from this past weekend. Okay, so with that said, we'll carry on now.
Well, I thought I was a little surprised with Florida putting up 60+.
Why?
Well, I mean, I thought that, we talked about this. I thought they would win. But what Arkansas has managed to do is impressive. But they're coming from the bottom of the barrel, so to think they can keep up with Florida is a bit much. But 6 touchdowns and 63 points, and Trask is just doing. I said weeks ago, and you were the only one that didn't laugh at me when I said this. After September and that game against Ole Miss to start the season, and I said, boy, if Trask plays like this, he's going to be my Heisman vote. And, finally I'm hearing other people around the country start to talk about Trask as a Heisman candidate. And I right now, he's my lock Heisman pick.
You know what's interesting? Since you went that way, I saw the odds, which are out presently, and Mac Jones is the favorite. Trevor Lawrence is the second favorite, and then Kyle Trask is third. I would have thought with Bama not playing the past 2 weeks and with Trask throwing 6 touchdowns this weekend that he would have elevated. I really thought the odds-on favorite this week would be Kyle Trask. I guess Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence, because of their name brands, are kind of holding on.
Well, I think a lot of people have been sleeping on Trask, too. It's difficult to sleep on Alabama nationally because they just get so much attention. But I think a lot of people didn't, a lot of people outside the South really weren't prepared for the name Kyle Trask. So I think it's kind of snuck up on them in the year of the COVID. So, I'm very impressed with what Jones has done, too. But it's not as good as what he would be standing out if not for the fact that he's, playing in the same conference against Kyle Trask. We'll get to see the two of them play head-to-head.
Well, hey, no, but this is an interesting thought because the one marquee game that Florida's played, they lost. They lost to Texas A&M.
Yep.
And it wasn't Kyle Trask's fault that they lost, but they lost nonetheless. And I look ahead, they've got Vanderbilt. Florida has Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Tennessee, and LSU, and then potentially an SEC championship game against Bama. Do you think it basically just comes down to Kyle Trask has to beat Alabama? It's Bama, Florida, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, winner wins the Heisman?
When is the Heisman vote again? I should know this.
Well, I guess it's got to be delayed this year because those games are on the 19th.
They just announced it. I'm pretty sure it's after the championship game.
It's got to be.
So, I don't know, man. It just depends. Trask is going to put up some huge numbers against Vandy, Kentucky, and Tennessee. It's just going to be huge numbers. And unless LSU figures it out, then those will be huge numbers against LSU as well. Huge. And the Cat's already blown up.
I know.
So if his only game that let's say he struggles in is against the Alabama defense, I don't know, how well would Jones do if you put him on the Gators and went up against Alabama? I don't know. I think Trask is the better player.
Christmas Eve, by the way. Christmas Eve. Ballots are due Christmas Eve.
Right. That's right. I'm feeling really good about my early Trask love. So, we'll talk more about it in the next segment. But Trask is on the other side of the Muschamp coin right now. Trask is hot. His stock is hot.
Did the Ole Miss? Well, you know what? I'd be remiss. Ole Miss isn't the story. The story is obviously Will Muschamp being fired. So,
right.
And listen, and you were on this like immediately after the game. So I'll tip my cap. And I'm not sure that I saw a midseason firing coming, but you were on this. What do you think is a realistic direction for South Carolina with this hire?
Billy Napier.
Why would he want that job? It makes sense for a lot of reasons.
He's only 41 years old.
Why would he want that job?
Well, first of all, you're playing on the heartstrings, right? Because this is a guy who, grew up in that region, Georgia mostly, but played for Furman, which is in Greenville. Spent his first 2 years as a grad assistant at Clemson. Then he's coached. His first full-time coaching job was South Carolina State, and then he was Clemson's offensive coordinator. That's a lot of South Carolina, brother. And, I think you wrap all that stuff up together. It's SEC. It's a lot of money. It's the chance to go, home, so to speak, and turn around a program. Expectations will be really low. I mean, if they can't woo Billy, if they can't get Billy to switch, and I agree with you, he could just wait and try to get. He's hot right now. I mean, his first 2 years have been pretty good. Then, if you're Carolina, you might look at Jeff Monken, who's done really well at Army.
But that offensive system, Russ, would you run that system in South Carolina?
Yeah. So I like Coastal Carolina has done really well with a more explosive offense. They're in the same neighborhood. Jamie Chadwell's the coach there. But that's not, the other thing you could do, by the way, here's an idea. Besides, actually, if you want to stay in Louisiana, you could poach Holtz. He's a little old at 56. But how about Shane Beamer?
That's a name I've heard a lot.
Head coach at Oklahoma. Yeah, he's worked for several SEC programs, and he was at South Carolina for 4 years. I think he was at Carolina when Holtz was there under Lou. Interesting.
Well,
but Beamer, you could argue, is the same thing. If Billy is not going, well, actually, I think Napier's stock is higher.
Yeah, because he's been a head coach, a successful head coach, and there is something to be said for the fact that it is an SEC job, right? And he has all the ties to South Carolina you mentioned, but that's not an easy job. You're in the same state as Clemson.
No.
It's not a talent-rich state. You're bordered by Clemson and Georgia and Bama, and there are places that he could go and have a better chance at early success than South Carolina.
And think about this: two of the best coaches that we've seen. And granted, they were at the end of their careers, but two of the best coaches that we've seen in our lifetimes just did average there,
Yeah. Well, Spurrier
and Steve Spurrier.
Well, come on, Spurrier went back-to-back 11-win seasons and got to the conference championship game. So I think that's better than average. Yeah.
Okay, fine, better than average for South Carolina, but man, it's a winning league. Show me a ring, not some make-believe ring that you have made for the kids because you had 11 wins. Show me a win. Show me a ring, man.
I hear you.
But to your point, is South Carolina ever going to win a ring?
Well,
probably not.
It's hard to say
but
never.
Could you use South Carolina as a stepping stone? I mean, do you think if you're Napier, do you stay in Louisiana and use that as a stepping stone to what? To Auburn?
He passed on Mississippi State last year because he knew he'd have better opportunities. And you go out and you beat Iowa State this year. I would pass on South Carolina. I'm not saying
if you're going to pass on. If you're going to pass, actually, you hit the nail on the head. If you're going to pass on State, you're going to pass on Carolina.
I have no inside info. To be clear, I'm not predicting what Billy Napier will do. I'm just saying he could get a better job than South Carolina. That's all.
You think Napier could, if he has another good year next year, you think he could go to the NFL if he wanted to? There's a big rush right now for the NFL taking these young, offensive-minded coaches.
But none of them from the group of five. I think that's probably too steep of a jump.
That's a good point, too.
So
yeah,
I just don't know that there's a great precedent there. Could he go be an assistant somewhere in the NFL? Sure.
If it's not Billy, the other names everyone's going to throw out there, they'll say Tony Elliott, the OC at Clemson. He's never left. I don't think he leaves for that job. Sarkisian at Alabama.
Huh, that'd be interesting.
Because he still has the USC hangover and how that whole situation is out there with the substance abuse, the alcoholism.
Yeah.
So, he might be more willing to take that kind of flyer. I don't know. I wouldn't if I was him.
All right. Let's grab a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll talk about the battle for the boot. Russ Mitchell's with us. He's on Twitter at RussMitchellCFB. We'll preview this weekend's slate in the Southeastern Conference. When we return, we are glad to have you with us here on the Hump Day edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at the Baton Rouge General Hospital because they are expanding health care in the greater Baton Rouge area. The Ascension Neighborhood Hospital is now open. If you're on LA 73, coming from Airline toward I-10, it's on your right. If you're on I-10 headed east, it'll be on your left as you're passing that interstate exit right there. You can see it from the interstate. It's amazing. They have emergency care as well. So if you're in Ascension Parish, world-class care is now closer to you than ever before with the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital, with the Baton Rouge General Hospital, Ascension Neighborhood Hospital there on 73. brgeneral.org to learn about all of the different services the Baton Rouge General Hospital offers, be it the Mid-City location or their Bluebonnet campus. brgeneral.org. Virtual visits are still available. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Come celebrate the small.
Hey, Muse, people on YouTube are saying that the audio is bad on Facebook.
On Facebook?
I'm sorry, on YouTube. I don't know. Was it? Hey, y'all, was it just the phone or is it me too? We usually don't have a problem with Russ's phone, do we?
No, I mean it sounded normal to me how Russ always sounds.
Did he dial us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So he doesn't have an echo. Huh? That's weird.
Right. It was a little staticky, but Russ, I mean, he likes to use the Bluetooth thing, so it's always kind of static. It's always kind of. Okay. It didn't sound any worse. Like
Ron Dupuy said, I usually enjoy this segment. I'm gone. Joey LeBlanc said, I'm good. Ryan Persige said, just the phone. Yeah, okay, just Russ. Okay. Yeah, I can tell you Russ has a Bluetooth headset that he uses. I tell him not to use it. I tell him to hold the handset. You'll always get better audio. But he uses this Bluetooth headset, and that I guarantee you it's like right on his mouth, and he's overmodulating because he's yelling at it because he's a big guy and he talks loudly. That's what it is. So anyway, sorry about that, y'all. I don't really know what to do except to tell him, hey, don't talk so loud. Charles Netterville, Texas Tiger, R. Matley. What's up, y'all? What's up? Appreciate y'all watching, man. Kind of fun doing the show from the house. What do you think, Muse? Maybe I'll build out a studio at home and just do the show from the house every day. Tell Gordy to foot the bill.
Mm 45 seconds.
Need some water. I need some water. Ryan, Drew's cutout needs to go to the studio when you go back. Irfan, say hi. What's up, Irfan? Where's Drew? Drew's in the other room. It was so funny all in the beginning of the show. Drew was like trying to get in here. I think Erica has him back.
Failure happens to us all, but it's our champions.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we continue with Russ Mitchell College Football News. He's on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Chat's brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen. Battle for the boot. Have you watched the point spread in this one?
No.
Where do you think it opened?
Arkansas favored. Well, actually, no. I'll bet you it opened LSU favored by 4.
It opened Arkansas 3. It has moved to LSU 2.5.
That's just crazy.
It's moved 5.5 points.
Oh, well, watch on. I'll bet you Saturday morning that thing.
I don't know, man.
Saturday morning, that thing flips back the other way.
I think if anything, it goes the other way, especially with the news about Arkansas's COVID tests.
Oh, that's true too, man. Has there been any news on Miles today?
Brennan's going to be done for the year, Russ. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it would be. I can't envision a scenario of him returning. It's going to be Finley, Johnson, Finley, some combination of the two. And honestly, Russ, I think that's kind of exciting to see what these two young guys may be able to do over the next 5 games if they get 5 games in.
Yeah, for my money, this, I think, is the marquee game of what is turning out to be a really subpar week. You look at the teams, and we'll go through them, but the matchups aren't that great. And I think at least these 2 very close on par. It should be a good game. You know, if you're an LSU fan, the one thing you're really excited about is if you watched the Florida-Arkansas game last week, you know that anybody with a halfway decent pass rush can sit in the backfield with Felipe and cook gumbo, man. They were part of that game. There were moments in that game where the Florida defensive line was apologizing. There were moments where the Florida defensive line was picking him up off the ground, right? Their ex-teammate and going, I don't know what to do, man. They're not even trying to stop me. It's just like I run straight teams. So, I think for all its faults, LSU's defense leads the conference in tackles for loss. And y'all can put enough pressure on a quarterback. So the problem is your offense can't do anything. So, unlike Florida, who could put up, over 60 points in that game, and Florida was at home, LSU's just totally weird, right? So
LSU's averaging 38 a game, Russ. Like, they're going to score.
Dude, man. TJ Finley, which he did against Auburn,
was awesome against South Carolina. And then he turned the ball over on the road as a freshman making his first start.
Arkansas is not a great team, but they're playing good football right now. They're actually playing better defensive football than offensive football.
And they're allowing over 400 yards a game.
He needs time to work. He needs a running game to help the cause. And he needs the entire offense needs the defense to stop getting bombed.
No, that's not going to happen.
Right? Yes.
That's the bigger problem. Is LSU can score. They're just not going to be able to stop anybody from scoring. That's the problem.
I think LSU's offense will work well enough to make this a shootout. And it's going to be, like I said, I think it'll be a fun game. But when you look at the intangibles, this is a team that's, it's really 4-3, not 3-4. They get their head coach back from the COVID period.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good. They've been good at home. You look at their losses, basically, came on the road, right? A&M on the road, Florida on the road. Auburn should have been a win.
The good teams on their schedule. Say what it is. They've lost to the good teams. They've beaten the bad teams. That's what it amounts to.
And LSU's a bad team.
And I agree with you.
So
I think there is a hodgepodge of average to bad teams, and Arkansas has proven they're better than State and Ole Miss and Tennessee. Yeah. And where does LSU fall in that? I think that's a valid question.
I think another way of looking at it is LSU clearly has better talent, but
yes,
the parts aren't playing together well. Whereas Pittman and Odom have done a much better job of getting their parts to play to mesh well together.
Completely.
And, it's a team sport, brother. So I like Arkansas.
Okay. I think it's a good pick. Okay, if LSU loses to Arkansas, that's one of two, I think, remaining on the schedule they could get. Florida, Vandy, the line's 31.5. Anything of interest there? It's okay to say no.
It's just to watch Kyle Trask. And see,
okay.
I mean, he's hitting 70% of his passes, 28 touchdowns. I mean, if it continues, I just don't see how you don't give that guy the Heisman.
Can Kentucky slow down Alabama?
No.
Why should I care about Tennessee, Auburn?
Just to finish on the Kentucky thing, the problem is
I thought we were finished.
Slowing down. No, well, I just want to say, if you score 7 points against Kentucky, given how bad their offense has been, it's like scoring 21. So if you're up by 14 points on Kentucky, it's like being up by 42. So they just don't have the offense to keep up.
Oh, I don't think at all that Kentucky even comes close in that ballgame. I'm just curious if their defense could.
Yeah.
I guess I look for can somebody like what Kevin Steele kind of did against Burrow last year, right? Where he found a way to slow the offense at least a little. Like, could Mark Stoops formulate a game plan that slows that offense a tad? That's all.
Not unless he had the defensive line that Steele had last year.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Tennessee, Auburn.
You want to? So this is interesting, right? Because you got 4-2 Auburn and 2-4 Tennessee, and you ask yourself, why does the Auburn fan base feel like the Tennessee fan base? Because they're not really 4-2. this is a matchup of 2 and 4 teams. Because Auburn had the Ole Miss give and the Arkansas give, and they lost to South Carolina.
Yep.
So this is an Auburn team that, absent the destruction of LSU, has grossly underperformed this year, and it's a fan base that is, as a result, bent. And this is a Tennessee team that started out hot, right, with 2 wins and has really struggled. But, ultimately, at the end of the day, Auburn's going to do a better job of being able to move the ball. The Vols just can't seem to get it done. Auburn's been able to put more stuff together, a bit more consistent. The Vols can't do anything. They can do one offensive thing well. You're going to have to do a little more than that to win, even at home.
All right, so you like Tennessee?
I like Auburn on the road. What's the spread in that one?
That game's at Jordan-Hare.
Oh, it is at Jordan-Hare. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry.
Wait, so you like Auburn at home? Auburn's a 10.5-point favorite in the game.
A lot of points.
I know. I'm curious if
I don't know if I like them that much.
Do they stick with Pruitt if this thing keeps nosediving?
We get one more year.
Okay. Missouri, South Carolina. Are you interested to see what Bobo does with the South Carolina team, or nah?
Oh, South Carolina's such a wreck, man.
I
mean, not just that, they lost both NFL caliber defensive backs, and
that's so true.
They lost three.
Yeah.
This week, and then you got they've actually been quitting for the last couple of weeks. Now they officially quit.
Yeah.
And the team is just a train wreck. No, I don't care about this one at all.
Okay, and then Mississippi State, Georgia. Georgia's a gigantic favorite. Mississippi State's had more and more players opt out, and I don't even know if they'll have enough to play this game. We'll see. At least that was the word early in the week. It seems like it's going to happen now. What's Georgia playing for?
Pride? How about the fact that Mississippi State, if you're an LSU fan right now, which you probably are, I just want you to really steel yourself for this. Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt last week, but they were only able to manage 204 yards of total offense. 204 yards of total offense against Vandy.
Ugh.
I'm sorry.
The more you look at it, Russ, the more you look at it, the more you say, like, legitimately how? How did that Mississippi State team, how did they come in and throw for 600 yards? It's such an outlier. I can't even make sense of it in any way.
Do you have the tape of the Mad Pirate after the game when he said they just didn't change. They kept playing up close and just left the whole. We could throw the ball over them, and they didn't change. And we said, let's just keep throwing the ball over them.
Man, Russ, even still, you play the same defensive scheme the whole game. Like 600 yards is still
204 total yards of offense
against Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
Ugh.
It's even worse when you say it all out. Vanderbilt.
I know.
Georgia's going to win this game by like 600 points.
I know. That's crazy. All right, Russ Mitchell, college football news. He's on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB, courtesy of our friends at South Point Volkswagen.
If your defense doesn't figure it out before December the 19th, you got to get rid of Pelini.
Oh, they got to get rid of Pelini anyway.
You cannot go into 2021 thinking that somehow that cat's just going to magically figure it out in the offseason.
No, that change needs to happen anyway, Russ.
This is it. He's got how many games left? 5 games? He's got 5 games to figure this out.
No, he's got 5 games until they fire him. Like this is Matt Canada. This is Lou Tepper. This is Bradley Dale, Pivoto, Doug Mallory. This is it. Like, this is no.
This is an experiment that hasn't worked.
Yes. Hey, man, always appreciate the time. We'll get Ruffin and my mom and maybe my aunt on the line all next week at the same time, all right?
Try not to lose to the Piggies this weekend.
Oh, no promises, man. We'll talk next week.
All right, bye.
All right, we'll see you. That's Russ Mitchell. College football news. Y'all follow him on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Autolocks and what we learned next. Stick around. AFR is brought to you by Carriages in Bocage, carriagesbr.com. Check out our friends over at Carriages in Bocage. They're closing here in a few minutes, close at 6 o'clock, but they'll be reopened tomorrow, and it is perfect. It is a perfect time to get by Carriages. Remember, they have officially licensed LSU gears. So with the weather getting a little cooler, if you want that quarter zip or that button-up, the long sleeve, maybe a pullover, belt, socks, they got you at Carriages in Bocage for your officially licensed LSU gear, or online at carriagesbr.com, carriagesbr.com. You go to the Game Day tab at the top of the website, and you'll see right there all of their officially licensed LSU gear, but it really doesn't matter what you're looking for. If it's jackets or quarter zips or vests or slacks or sport coats, if you need your fall attire, you need to go see our friends at Carriages in Bocage. Tell Will and the whole gang over there that Matt sent you in when you see our friends at Carriages in Bocage.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match.
Are you the only one in studio?
Yeah.
I would figure. So Paul's off, I would guess, yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to do what we learned?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, what did you learn? Well, you don't have to tell me.
Okay.
What did you learn?
Well, I mean, no, I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's not the same thing. Let's see. What did I learn? Let's see. Got it. Okay. All right. What is the Otter going to talk about tonight? That's funny. Mute you got, Otter?
Working on it.
Okay. Let's see. Todd Jones losing Matt. You're losing me? What happened there? No? Ewell Sullivan, he got his Addis. He's good to go. His Addis, what does that mean? Matt, is that a wooden football? No, this isn't wooden. This is the ball from Nyko Sports. We promoted these around Heisman time, maybe a little after. This is the commemorative Joe Burrow football. I told y'all, man, they do an awesome job with these. If you have never seen, Nyko really does a great job.
I don't hold.
Okay, you can see it's got like all of his what's that panel? Heisman Trophy, got his stats, unanimous All-American, all that stuff, and then that's the every game and his stats from every game from the season, and then this is the records that he set, his career records and all that stuff, and then the other panel is just. They do an awesome job. They have a national championship win too. This was the world. It's a really cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, let's do some Otterlocks. Jimmy Ott joins us. Otter, how are you?
It's a very sad day.
No sports.
Tonight,
no sports to bet on.
Night. Oh no! Tonight is the last night of matches. A 6 o'clock triple header. A round robin bailout. We're gonna exit this party with a big bang, Matthew. We are ready.
Wait a second, I forgot they're doing 3 and 3. So help me out here. So this is the last week of action. They're only playing like 3 weeks.
3 weeks of action. A little bit of a late start in the Midwest, in the Big Ten and the MAC.
This is
those guys you're fond of, right? Well, no, they're going to play like they play on like Friday afternoon or Friday morning. Actually, is the day after Thanksgiving. Next week's Thanksgiving, by the way, Matt.
Got it. So
from turkey and all that stuff. Yeah.
So they're not. The season isn't over. You can tell how much I actually care about watching Toledo, Eastern Michigan. The season isn't over. They're just not going to be playing the triple headers on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday night. This is it. This
All
is
right.
it. We've got plenty of other stuff to throw at you. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll find something.
No,
Don't you worry. But this is the last night of midweek action. Yes.
Okay. I know you and our buddy Stephen Miller are devastated. You're the only two I know that are absolutely living and dying with every Northern Illinois score.
Can't be any more devastated than last night. I mean, got 27 guys. The game's tied 28-28. You get destroyed by 40. There you go, Matt. You know those JC guys? The JC running back rushed for 4 touchdowns and over 200 yards. How bad are they without him?
Wait, the Kent State Akron
Toledo
game.
was a heartbreaker. Toledo, you watched the bad beat on Monday night, right? Toledo,
Yeah.
crazy game where they scored. Jimmy, well, we got the bounce back. The bad beat bounce back tonight as part of action. Got a little 3-team robin tonight. Toledo, the Rockets, Northern Illinois, and Central Michigan.
All right.
Central Michigan, Toledo, Northern Illinois, round robin.
Little parlay.
$10, $10, man. Give you a little sweat. You and Erica, a bottle of wine. Bring in Drew for the second half. Give you a little luck.
You know, she is in. Like she's more into betting than I am. Like she's the one who's like, what are we betting on tonight? She just wants something to care about. She don't care. She's on
heard from me more than in the summer when we got on a little roll there. I mean, 6 a.m. You look at the numbers got on. I mean, come on, Eric, let me breathe.
She does. She just poked her head. I don't even know if you know. I'm at my house. She just poked her head in the door of my office and was like, bet. All right, so we got a Toledo.
Please warn her this is not real football.
It's
not real college football.
We've got Toledo, Northern Illinois, Central Michigan parlay, but she does not like parlays, Otter. I'm gonna tell you, she hates a parlay.
Okay, bet them straight. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but I feel a little hat trick tonight. So
All right.
We'll see. We're going out with a bang, man. You're not going out strong. You're not going to limp out of here. All right? Last day of action. All that sticks, too. Bam, bam, bam. Look, we got just winging it right now. We got the 4 TVs. 3 games of action in the NBA draft. Here we go.
I love it, man.
Don't lay the 250 on Anthony Edwards going 1. So
don't.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, 250, geez. I mean, anything can happen. Boy, sure look like he's a lock, though, with that number. It's climbing.
Yeah. All right. At Just Winging It?
Keep in mind with the draft. At Just Winging It, Old Jefferson and Hoosier, too, right around the corner from your house.
That's a great spot, man. Just Winging It is a great spot, too. They got a great menu, and it's a great family spot, too. It's a place where adults can go and have their fun, but you can bring the kids, too. It's a really good spot.
Yes, man. It's a neighborhood place. Got the garage door open, little open air edition of Game Time. So
cool.
Some action. You can listen to us sweat and have a good look. So in the third quarter, and we're in there. You guys come on over. We'll pull apart together.
All right, have a great night.
Leave Drew with me tonight. Okay?
I will not do that. All right, we'll see you. That's Jimmy Ott. Game Time with Jimmy. All right, man. We'll see you. Game Time with Jimmy Ott. Follows us if you're in Baton Rouge. If you're not, you can listen online at 1045ESPN.com or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. All right, Musa, what did you learn today?
You own everything celebrating the 2003 LSU championship.
Every damn thing.
Everything.
Oh, dude.
What'd you learn, Matt?
I own all of it. I learned that you think Dodgeball is the greatest movie ever.
It's so good.
Dodgeball and The Dark Knight. Nothing but, and I learned that I can do a radio and TV show from my house. Y'all have a great night. Thanks, Moose. See ya. AFR is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Call Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Man, they do awesome work. As a matter of fact, when we moved into this house, I guess I'm sitting here so I can tell you about it. We moved into this house. One of the very first things we did is we had Brandon and his team come out. We have on the back side of our house this wall of windows. It's kind of it's a sunroom of sorts, and they had the idea to install picture windows, so no frames, right? Or the panels. So it just looks beautifully onto the back of our house. It was a great idea, and it's lowered our energy bills and increased our home's resale values. ReliefWindows.com, windows, doors, siding. If you had damage to your home because of any of these storms and you're looking for windows, doors, or siding, remember, Relief Windows, their work comes with a lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Pay once and you're done forever. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, Matt.
Muse.
Do you need me to record your promo for tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, please. That'd be great.
RC, Fantasy Blitz, Mike D.
Oh, I can record it.
Can you?
Yeah. I mean, just roll.
Okay, all right, hold on. Let me can you wait till Otter goes on so I know the room's not live?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'll talk to the YouTube people. I got to remember how to turn this thing off. Hey, 84 people are still watching. It was a good year for Matt 03. Yeah. Did I not call what Otter was going to talk about? What did he Hammer Eastern Michigan. Let's see, Todd Jones, Matt Y, the number 15 on Drew. Todd, I just think that's the jersey they were selling that year, honestly. I don't know, man. I think that was the jersey they were selling. I think that might have been that picture might have been maybe it was 2018, and before we knew Burrow was going to be the guy, and everybody was thinking Brennan would be the guy. I think that's why. Mike Cool, why is Matt at his house? Contact tracing, Mike Cool, because of the COVID crazies. Oh, that thing? Oh, that? No, this is... When I told you I have everything from the 03 championship, that's a wooden football from the 03 championship, signed by one Nick Saban. Boom. And there's like a little smudge of Sharpie right there as well. That's 03. 03, bro. 03 was the GOAT, man. 07, while a very fun team, was very, very lucky. 06 would have blown the doors off of 07. They both lost 2 games. 07 just got lucky. I got some 07 stuff up here. This was the one they did after 07 with Mike with the 2 trophies. That's an 07 commemorative ball. I got some stuff. Maybe the coolest thing I have. Hang on. How many people are still? 80, 85 people still watching? Andrew Whitworth's helmet from 2001. Got the Charles McClendon sticker, the American flag from 9/11, and the BCS sticker when they went to the Sugar Bowl, beat Illinois, and he signed it. This was Whitworth's helmet, 76. Big Whit. This was his helmet, game worn.
All right, you ready to record?
Let's see.
Can you hear me, Matt?
Yo, Muse.
All right, cool. You ready to record?
Yo. Oh, did we? No. Okay. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, man, you're rolling.
All right, let's see. Clock. All right. Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for our Thursday edition of AFR presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Full hour of football talk with Mike Detillier. Ryan Clark joins us, our Fantasy Blitz. You join us as well. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. Alexandria is 94.7 ESPN. Cool?
Yep, got it.
All right, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Not a problem.
All right, Muse. Later, man.
Later.
All right, YouTube peeps. Thanks for watching. Signing off.